Oh my goodness. Good morning. Tell your cat to wake you up at breakfast. Good morning, soldier. Stop purple rain. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Hold on a second. I'm going to just mute for a second. It's not muting me. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. People are gonna come in my live now and be like, "What happened?" Whew. Well, what's up? Sorry. Morning. Remy, where are you working? I just saw you say you have to go to work. Oh, hold on a second. What the fuck is my voice is coming out of my pocket? What's up? All right. I forgot I had my live playing. Wow, that's a delay. That's a fucking delay. Holy shit. Because I started talking and it took a couple of seconds. Um, sorry, I'm out of breath. I had to go run my garbage pails out. You're going away, Tallulah? I just got home. I was so tired. So tired. We had a long weekend. I had a long week. My son got sick. Friday, he didn't have school, right? Friday was Good Friday, so he didn't have school. He was sick Friday morning, and I could just tell when he was getting sick. You've been working. Oh, all right. I got you, Remy. Yeah, don't say where. All right. I got you, though. Well, it's good, though. At least it gets you out of the house, you know? So anyway, yeah, he got sick Friday, right? Saturday fever, Sunday fever, Monday fever. I'm like, oh my God, this poor kid. He like, dude, my son, let me tell you something. My son, even when he's sick, he's still fucking active. Like, I mean, like when I was a kid, I remember when I used to get sick, I would be like in bed, like dying, you know? He's like pretty good. Like when he's sick, he'll still play with his toys. Like you usually can't tell when he's sick. This time though, he got sick. Like he was in bed. I mean, he wouldn't even get up. He didn't even like he opened his Easter stuff, you know, and then he didn't even play with anything. He didn't eat any candy, nothing the whole weekend. I was like, oh my God, he's really sick. Then his fever got pretty high and he was like having nightmares and hallucinating and it was fucking scary. But it went that was it, you know. It like you know how it goes when they're sick. They got like a good 3 days, they get really sick, and then that third day, usually on the fourth day, they're better. You know, they start getting better. So the next day his fever was gone on the Tuesday, whatever, Wednesday, Thursday. I didn't get him tested because there's no point. Hey, good morning, Ramad. So I was like, he's whatever he has, well, he's just gonna have to ride it out. I mean, what are you gonna do? So he was fine, after that. And then by Friday, we went away this weekend. So he had a roller hockey, thing. But it was a good weekend. He won his little trophy, top scorer for the tournament. So he was excited. I was too excited not to be in school. Listen, dude, Clara, I'd be playing video games and playing with toys all day. I know, right? My mom, my mom was one of those moms that was like, first of all, I had to be dying to stay home from school, like dying. You know what I'm saying? My mom was like, did not let me stay home from school for nothing. It was bad. And then when I'd stay home, she'd be like, well, you're too sick to go to school. So she'd like pretty much make me lay in bed all day because I wasn't allowed to do anything. She'd be like, because apparently when you're sick, you can't do anything else but lay in bed. So she used to be like, you're sick, you're laying in bed. And, I don't blame her. I mean, I used to do that with my son too. I mean, I try to do that. I don't let him stay home if he's got a little cold. If he has a fever, I keep him home, obviously. But, you know, nowadays, forget it. You can't even cough, you know, from like your allergies or something. People think you have COVID. It's like crazy. But yeah, so when you're sick, you stay home. Yeah, I had to be like throwing up or something. My mom would send me to school. But you know what? I think that's why we all have good immune systems. Like these kids, because they had those fucking masks on for so long, they're getting sick. My son has gotten sick more this year than he has in his whole life. Like it's they haven't had masks off, dude. They're not catching the germs and building immunities to things like they're supposed to be. Even though he still got sick with that mask on, dude. He did. He still got sick with that mask on. So I don't think they were really helping too much, but my mom had to hold it and work, so I was on my own sick days. See, that's nice. I had my brother. See, now he used to get to stay home all the time because he was really good at putting it on, like the act. I'm not good at, I wasn't good at that because I'm not good at being fake. You know what I'm saying? So like I could never fake being sick. I just couldn't do it. I'm bad at it. If I'm sick, I'm sick. But I suffered from migraine headaches. I think that's part of the reason why my mom used to be like that because, when I had a migraine, I had to stay home and I used to get them a lot. So my mom used to have to keep me home, a lot. But anyway, I get a call if my kid goes to the bathroom too many times. I say, well, Fever, why you not call me? I know Jesse, they called me for something with Jesse recently. And I'm like, oh, he said he was dizzy. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I got to pick him up because he's dizzy? Like who even knows if that's true? You know what I'm saying? But they don't, once your kid goes down to the nurse nowadays, that's it. You're picking them up. Like, that's it. I knew how to play my mom. She'd be too stressed and in a hurry in the morning to argue with me. So it was pretty easy to get her to let me stay home. See, my mom was home up until I was in 5th grade. So, even when I was in high school, dude, like fucking senior cut day, right? No, not senior cut day. She let me actually cut school that day. But I mean, I used to cut school anyway, but I would never cut the whole day. I would cut like classes and shit. But even senior cut day, I'm not senior cut day, sorry. Senior year, like there was days that like were known in my school, that everybody cut, like St. Patrick's Day and like all those kind of days. My mom made me fucking go to school on St. Patrick's Day when everybody else was like cutting school and going to the parade in the city. Like she was such a pain in the ass. I miss her to death, but when I was young, she definitely was a pain in the ass. But my brother, he was always allowed to like do whatever. I don't know why. She was like way more strict with me for some reason. So my brother, he was always like, well, my brother was different too because he'd be like, oh, I can't cut. And then he would just fucking leave anyway. He would just leave school. He probably cut way more than I did. I remember one son had a hot temp. He told me years later he would put his head next to the toaster. Oh my God. My son always got quiet and subdued whenever he was sick, which is the opposite. See, yeah, Jesse, I usually can only tell because he's like congested or something because his energy level is usually extremely high. So when he's sick, it's like probably like normal kid level. But this time he was out for the count. I haven't seen my son sick like that, in a long time. It was a little scary to be honest with you. I was like, I kind of miss him annoying the shit out of me. Like, eh, God, kids. She was my teen coughs too much on the bus. She gets thrown off and told to go home. It almost happened once. Holy shit. He's a boy. In high school, my friends and I would leave school all the time, bribe the security guard with breakfast. Plus, really, shit, it was that easy. I hid in my friend's trunk one time. And they drove me out of the school in the trunk. And the security guard's like joking with her. He's like, because he saw us both walking out and he's like, where's your friend? And she's like, oh, she went back in. And he's like, yeah, he's like, you sure she's not in the trunk? And my friend's like, no, meanwhile, I was in there. And she fucking pulled around and let me out. Oh, shit. I miss those days. You had to be really clever when you were in high school, figure out ways to get out of the school. Our school was like Fort Knox. Like the year before I got into high school, it was pretty open. But the year I entered high school, which was 10th grade for me, because our school, that's how our school is, it was like Fort Knox in there. You could not get out. They had security guards at every gate. Like it was the place that our high school is, it's like kind of right in the middle of like a little neighborhood. So it's surrounded by houses. So there's like all backyards. So it was hard to get out of there because if you wanted to like jump a fence or something, you would end up in somebody's backyard, you know? So there was really only like two places that you could get out. And one of them was like the end of the street, but they built like this fucking huge prison wall. That's what it looked like. And I mean, you could jump over it, but it was very hard to get over there without being seen. So you really had to go out through the front gate where the security booth was. That was really the only way you could get out of school. And that was extremely hard. Hey, Smokey P. We were dropping in a submarine as I see. What? We dropping in a submarine? Are you like in the bathroom dropping a submarine, or or are you like really dropping? Speaking of which, I was just watching the glare. I just turned on your live stream. I don't know which one it was. And did Molly Golightly take a shit on stream again, or a piss or something again? Because you said she ran to the bathroom. I'm like, oh God, what is with this woman? Speaking of which, I woke up this morning, right? And I go smoke my cigarette and I see Hartley clipped her. And and she's talking about me. And I'm like, oh shit, look at this. Hold on. I thought I pulled it up. Let me play that guy for you guys real quick. Hold on. It's pretty funny. Let me find Hartley. I'll tell you guys what happened real quick first, okay? I was away all weekend, so obviously I wasn't really paying attention to YouTube, but I got a text message yesterday when I got home. And I'm sorry, not yesterday. Well, yeah, I did get one yesterday, but the other day I got a text message while I was away, and I see that they're blaming her for putting, like, I guess, these flyers on the cars at the Johnny Depp trial. Now, I'm watching like millions of other people. Okay. I was watching, I think it was a law and crime channel, I think it's called. I was watching their coverage, right? The other day. There was over 300,000 people in their chat. 300,000 people just in that chat. Okay. Then you have all these other places and people that are streaming the trial. So, chances are there's a lot of people watching this trial, right? So I follow this channel, Popcorn Planet. I've been following them since the Gabby Petito case, which is really weird because I wasn't subscribed to them, but their videos always pop up in my feed, right? Because I went to go comment in their chat the other day or something. Was it them or no? Yeah, it was them. And I was like, he had subscriber only mode on. And I was like, oh shit, I'm not even subscribed to this channel, but it pops up in my feed all the time, I guess, from when I followed it, from the Gabby Petito trial. And I've been watching their videos, like, I guess because of Johnny Depp trial, because I've been watching a lot of the videos on that. So I see that he posts this video. What's up, Crazy Gemini? Where he's saying that, yeah, she goes deuces. Could you imagine a deuce coming out of that with all those tamales? Oh, God, that's so gross. So, like, my whole point of saying this is that, like, I'm just one of, like, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that are watching this trial, right? That are interested in it. But of course, she has to act like she fucking owns this trial, right? It's hers. It's her trial. She's because everything somehow is always about her. It's always about her. So I see this video. Somebody sends me this video the other day from Popcorn Planet, and it says that, he's got like her on the thumbnail, and they strike you when you stream them, even though a trial is really, that's fucked up, right? So even though I'm one of the millions of people, I see this video, I'm like getting lost. Sorry, it's been a long week and I'm fucking exhausted. So I'm like, I'm one of the millions of people that are watching it, right? So I get the video, I see that her face is on the thumbnail. He never mentions her in the video, although I didn't watch the entire video because I really didn't have time. I was out, we were with people, it was a busy weekend. So I watched like a couple of minutes. I didn't hear him personally mention her in this video, where basically he was saying that there was these people going around passing out these flyers and putting them on the cars. And I don't even remember what they said. But there was a picture of her. I guess, I don't know if she posted it somewhere. See, like, I don't even know all the details. I don't know if she posted it somewhere, but she was holding one of these flyers that was being put on the cars, right? So basically what he was trying to say was that Amber Heard was having people tamper with the jury. He never said her name though, but he did put her picture on the thumbnail. And then somebody had posted, I guess, on Twitter where they circled her sitting in the courtroom and then some other lady. So like she's bugging out, apparently, because people think that she's an Amber Heard supporter. And I just think it's fucking hilarious. Of course I do. I mean, of course I do. I'm like, this bitch deserves this, So I'm watching the video and I see that he pinned the comment under the video. And he's like, oh, my apologies. Molly Golightly contacted me, privately on email, and she's not one of the people that were handing out the flyers. So I was like, whatever. I'm like, whatever. I read his pinned comment. And then underneath that, you got all her fucking new simps who don't know shit. I hate that word. Why did I just use that word? But you know what I'm saying. You got all her new followers that are in there that are like, you owe her an apology. And I'm like, so I write under there, fuck that. Like, why apologize to this woman? You know how many times she's hurt people on here and they've never gotten apologies? Myself, my family's been doxxed. I've been swatted by her best friend. Have I ever gotten a fucking apology? No, I don't want one. Just putting that out there. But I'm just saying, how many times has this woman drugged the shit out of people? I mean, Potty Mouth Mom is a great example because all the woman did was nothing. She did nothing. Okay. A shirt that she bought for her went on back order, and she went online, accused this woman of stealing fucking money from her, and like went off and took it to a place that it just didn't need to go. Starts blaming her for her child's things that happen to her kids, like just fucking, crazy shit. Did she ever get an apology? No, she never did. I mean, this is YouTube karma for her, in my opinion. So of course, Haley, I saw someone in an entirely different community talking about MGL, and someone's in there saying MGL does good things and you need to sub and watch her. Yeah, these people don't know. She swears Amber Heard gives a fuck who she is, much less Johnny Depp. So I go to her channel because the person who texted me and sent me this Popcorn Planet video, they're like, yeah, she's like bugging out. She made like 5 videos about this. So I just go click on like one of the shortest ones because I'm like, I can't watch her for more than like 2 minutes because I'm like, what the hell? I'm trying to figure out exactly what's going on. So I watched this one video, which it made no sense. It was like letter to Amber Heard or something. And like nowhere in there does she even address her. I don't know. She does that shit all the time though. Like she can't stay on topic for anything. Everything turns into a story about her. You know what I'm saying? Like you title a video called Letter to Amber Heard and the whole video is about you because you're such a fucking narcissist. And yes, DeGlara, you're right. I think it's safe to say we could diagnose her as a narcissist at this point, dude. Like it's pretty, we don't need to be doctors. I think it's pretty obvious, blatantly obvious that she's a narcissist. I've been saying it for years. But anyway, so I watched that one and I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, I'm commenting now under the stream because now you got her fucking idiot followers under this Popcorn Planet video, and they're responding and they're like, you owe her an apology. Blah, blah. So, somebody's like, I'm in her Patreon and she's been a Johnny supporter since day one. I don't give a shit who she supports. I just think it's funny. And I'll let her know. So in case one of her fucking, people are watching right now, every time new people think you're a good person, I'll be there to remind them that you're not. So just get used to it. Okay. Because if I see it, I'll be there to remind people that you're a horrible human being. Because, she wants a shout out from this guy. He's got a pretty big following. He's got a rather large following. So, of course, she wants to clear her name with this guy. She doesn't want people thinking that she's a Amber supporter. God forbid, But I mean, we all know better. We know she loves to harass victims and people who've been, fucking whatever, victimized in a multitude of ways. We know that this is her thing. This is what she does, right? Oh, the video I watched, she shows a video, right, of her harassing Amber outside the courtroom. Now, fighting with her. Okay. And I'm like, these people are all upset because they're like, whoever's putting these flyers on the cars, they're going to taint the jury pool and they're going to fuck the trial up and all this shit. And I'm like, well, yeah, okay, that's possible. But like, she shouldn't be doing that either. Why is she standing outside the courthouse waiting for Amber to leave the courthouse so she could yell at her? Like, you left your motherfucking son and your husband to do this shit. Like, I was away this weekend with my son and my husband. That's what we do as a family. We spend the whole weekends. We all go away together, right? because my son's only going to be this age once, and then he's going to grow up and he's going to go off to college. So I'll wait until then, until I, do those types of things, which I would never do what she does. But I'm saying, like, going away, well, then it would just be me and my husband. I would just never go away, go travel by myself. I just never would do that. I don't know. It's fucking weird to me. I mean, she's not even covering the trial from what I understand. Like, everything's about her all the time, because I was watching fucking Ictamel, right? And she comes up, I think Burnt Toast played this the other day. She comes up on the panel and nothing's about the trial. It's all about her and some drama she started, like, in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing relevant to the fucking screen. I mean, to the screen. Sorry, I'm looking at a blank screen. Nothing relevant to the case. Like, nothing relevant to the case. It's all about her. Always. Everything's about her. So anyway, I'm in these comments. This is a long story to fucking get to the point here, right? So anyway, we're in these comments and I'm like, of course, dude, I'm a fucking smartass. Like, I'm trolling her ass in the comments. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing, because it's funny, to me. It's entertaining. I'm outside smoking a cigarette and I'm fucking entertaining myself for 5 minutes. So whatever. In the comments, somebody mentioned something about, her using Princess for content. So I write on there, poor Princess. I feel bad for him. Okay. Which I do. And I have for a while now, because she exploits the fuck out of him. Right. Uses this poor man for content. Like, just horrible what she does to this man. So clearly that must have triggered the shit out of her. I don't know what else she said about me, but I only heard what was on this clip that we're going to play right now. On Hartley's channel. Because she thinks I watch her still. I don't watch her, dude. That video that I watched the other day was probably the first fucking time I've actually sat through a video of hers in years. And you could ask any one of my friends. I do not fucking watch her. People text me all the time. Did you see this? Did you see that? Nope. Because I don't fucking watch her. Unless it's on a clip channel. If Burnt Toast streams her, sure, I'll be in there to talk some shit. But am I going to sit on her channel and watch her and give her a review? No. All right. So let me pull this up real quick. And I guess I'll have to share the screen with you guys. But she got triggered the fucking house by this comment that I made. And I think it's pretty funny. All right. I'm going to have to pause it because we know she likes to strike people. But we could do that. Hey, Ms. Lee. She literally actually said that Princess dying was content for her. How many times I've said, let me pin that. You're 100% right. She did say that. She told somebody, I saw that clip of her telling some lady at wherever the hell she was, that Princess is content only when he's dying. Yeah. But then we're not supposed to feel bad for him, and you'll see why. All right, let me make sure this is up so you guys.
I do want to get you started on poor Princess. I would like to know what you think is going on with poor Princess. Because are you gonna offer him some help? No?
All right, I'll stop right there. Why would I offer Princess help? He's not my friend. Why am I going to offer him help? I don't know this guy. So unless I can't feel bad. All right, this is narcissistic thinking right here, right? You can't feel bad for somebody. You can't just feel bad for somebody. You have to do something for them. But the things that she's doing to quote unquote help Princess aren't helping him, right? She doesn't even know how to help him. I mean, I could offer him advice. That's about it. And my biggest advice would be get the fuck away from your friend Molly Golightly, Princess. Okay? Go somewhere as far away from her as possible if you want to live a clean and sober life. That's my advice. That's how I could help him. Other than that, no, I'm not going to help him because he's not my responsibility. I don't know this fucking guy, but I could still feel bad for him because a narcissist doesn't understand what empathy is. So they don't understand what feeling bad for somebody is for just the sake of feeling bad for them. You know what I'm saying? They don't get that.
What are you going to do? You gonna put him up? Are you going to put him up for, let's get to her other comment.
Hold on a second. Mind you, this woman volunteered to take this guy in, right? Like, this is this is why part of why I feel bad for Princess is because you voluntarily took this man in. I don't know what his life was before that. I mean, I only know what she's said, right, on her lives or whatever about him, right? But she voluntarily took this man in. Now he's a burden to her. And that's why I feel bad for him because, when I took care of like my mom when she was sick, she wasn't a burden to me. I wanted to take care of her because I loved her. When you take care of somebody, when you volunteer to take care of somebody, they shouldn't be a burden on you. They should, you should want to do it. Is it hard? Yeah, it's hard to take care of somebody while they're really sick. And trust me, he's not even close to as sick as my mom was. Not even close to as sick as my mom was. But it's hard. It's a lot. It's hard work. It's a big commitment to take in somebody when they're sick. But you have done nothing but sit on live streams and complain about what a burden he is to you and your family. That's why I feel bad for him. And she's so mad about it and triggered about it because she knows it's the fucking truth. She's treated this man horribly. And like, you'll see what she thinks caring for somebody means.
That someone screenshot. What is it? All right, there's more. Chicky sweater. Wait, what? Amber's friend who was thrown out by the judge called her on a live stream? Good luck.
I don't talk like that. Stop reading my fucking comment like that. Amber's friend who did it? Like, why is it so dramatic? I'll do it in my voice, right? Here's how it would come out in my voice. Wait a second. Amber's friend who got thrown out of the courtroom, called her on a live stream. That's how I would say it. But she's making it so dramatic. Wait a second. Amber's friend who called her on a live stream? Like, why is it so dramatic coming out of this woman? Why?
Lord, how the hell did she get her number? The girl asked me. Every girl had my phone number there. We were like family for a few days.
Okay, so mind you, this chick, Chicky Sweater, she comes in my chats every once in a while. Chick left some comment that, I don't know, that I don't know what's going on. I don't know what this fucking asshole's doing because, again, I don't watch her. So I don't know, like, every little thing that's going on. But she was saying something about Amber's friend that got thrown out of the trial, called her on a live stream. People were saying that she's tweeting Amber or getting, I don't know. And I don't know if any of this is true, by the way. I mean, I trust the people that are saying it because I know some of them, but I personally never saw it. I don't know. I don't know if it's true. I don't follow her on Twitter. I don't know what she's doing outside of YouTube. I barely know what she's doing inside of YouTube. Unless it's on a clip channel, I don't know what's going on. So I'm asking because I'm like, obviously I haven't watched her, so I didn't know that this person called her. So I'm like, hold on a second. Why would that person even call her? Like, it doesn't even make any sense. She's so triggered by this comment for some reason. And it's fucking weird. It's weird. All I'm doing is asking a question about it.
Everyone had my number and it's not.
Why do you want to talk to Amber's friends, though, if you're not supporting her? I don't know. It's weird.
Oh, listen, I don't know Amber's friends. I don't know Amber. I don't give a shit. You want to be princess? Yeah.
She doesn't give a shit, but she flew to fucking or drove to Virginia, right? Put herself up in a hotel room at the Ritz-Carlton, same place where she's stalking Johnny Depp. Like, dude, he's not going to fuck you, girl. He's not. Maybe, no, I was going to say maybe 20 years ago, but probably not. Probably not even then. Okay. He's got a very specific kind of woman that he goes after, and you're not it. But anyway, you did all this, but you don't care, right? You did all this. You sat outside the courtroom waiting for them to come out just so you could get a glimpse of Amber Heard. But you don't care. No, not at all.
Yeah, he's making $400. What do you call it? He's living in a nice big house. Oh, poor princess. Poor princess. You know what? Poor princess.
Okay. So here she goes on the poor princess. Now, listen, you could live, I think Johnny Depp is probably the greatest example of all this, right? You could live in the biggest fucking house on the planet. That doesn't mean that you're happy, healthy, that you're not a piece of shit. Like, you could live in the biggest house. You can have everything in the world. You can have your own fucking island, right? And you can still not be happy in life, okay? you could still not be happy in life. So just because he's living in a quote unquote big house, who even knows if that's true, but that's not going to cure him from his illness, from his drinking problems, from his, addictions, whatever other addictions he has, that's not going to make Princess better. You don't just simply throw people in big houses, right, who have issues, serious issues like that, and then it's like problem solved. He's in a big house, problem solved. Everything's great now. That still doesn't change the fact that you exploited the shit out of him, right? Shared all his personal medical information on here, called his family, put them on live streams when they're not even, knowing that they're on there. None of that changes that. Just because he's in a big fucking house, that doesn't change anything. That doesn't change the situation. It's like this woman's fucking thinking, that shows me that she really thought that she was going to bring this guy here to wherever the fuck she lives and, get him a $200 suit and a pair of fucking, Gucci sunglasses or whatever the fuck she got. And everything was going to be Gucci. It was going to be great. It was just going to all be great. All his problems were just going to fucking disappear because he has nice shit now. Like, dude, if it was that fucking easy, there wouldn't be rehab centers. There wouldn't be all these things, drugs, all these different things to help people in those situations. If you could just throw him in a big fucking house and buy him a nice suit, one nice suit, which, by the way, he probably could have went to Marshall's and got him a whole entire fucking wardrobe that he could actually use, right? A functional wardrobe that he could actually use for the price that you paid for that fucking ugly ass suit. Just saying. Just saying.
He's living in a huge, enormous house
with a bunch of refugees, from what I hear. I don't know if that's true. Can anybody confirm that? I heard somebody say this the other day somewhere. I think it was in Burnt Toast chat. That he's living with Ukraine refugees. So those people had to go through all that shit. And then they come to her house. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Right next to the strip. He's got everything he wants. Poor princess. Yeah.
See? Dude, this just shows me that this woman really thinks all these material things are what is important in life and what makes a person a person. That's what makes somebody happy, material objects. Dude, you are so fucking out of touch with reality, Marissa. It's not even funny. You are so far out of touch with reality. It's not even funny.
Poor princess. Dude, 4 years, girl. 4 years you've been obsessed.
So now, because I commented on her, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed for 4 years. Yeah, I'm obsessed. Because I feel bad for your friend, I'm obsessed. Now, this is funny because if we go back to the comment that she first read on here, I'm asking the person, wow, that really happened? Because obviously I don't watch her. So, and you could tell by that comment, I didn't watch whatever the fuck this person was talking about. So that's why I'm asking them, really? She talked to this person? So if I was obsessed, wouldn't I be watching every fucking stream that she does? Because I don't. Get over yourself, Marissa. Nobody's fucking obsessed with you. You're on a public platform. See, you and Laura have to get this through your fucking heads, is that you're both on a public platform, right? And unfortunately, I can't get the fuck away from you because I'm watching the Johnny Depp trial. I'm not even fucking paying attention to your ass. And there you are, right in the fucking middle of it. Because you love to throw yourself in the middle of these things because you're an attention whore.
It's time to now it's this other bullshit. Here comes her girl.
It's this other bullshit. This other bullshit.
B Fergs.
That's right, B Fergs is my girl. That's right. For 4 years, Marissa. Now I know you don't understand what that is, but me and B Fergs, we've been friends for 4 solid years, dude. 4 solid years. I know you don't understand that because you've never kept friends or followers or anything for that long. So yeah, that's my girl for 4 years. You can't say the same about not even one person in your fucking chat.
JD fan. And then I wonder why she's been tweeting Amber over and over to contact her privately. That's total bullshit. That's total bullshit. And Chick Eastwater, we all know she sat there because that's where the camera is pointed. Actually, there's cameras everywhere.
Actually, there's not cameras everywhere. She sat behind Amber Heard because the cameras are pointed over there. Any fucking idiot who watches court TV or any of those knows that the cameras are always facing in the opposite direction of where the jury is sat. Okay? We all know that because they can't show the jury. So she purposely planted herself there in a fucking lime green, okay, fluorescent lime green fucking shirt. She fucking planted herself there. Who the fuck wears a fluorescent green, lime green fucking shirt to court, dude? First of all right. Who goes to court dressed in the tightest clothes that are like 4 sizes too small on them anyway? I don't care if you're just sitting there. Who walks into a court building like they're going to the fucking gym? She looks like one of those before pictures you see on like the fucking Slim Fast commercials. You know what I'm saying? She walked into the fucking courthouse like that, looking like a fucking before ad for a Slim Fast. Oh my God. Like wearing clothes that are just fucking 8 sizes too small on her. 8 sizes too small. Like, girl, we can see every fucking roll and dimple in your back. You need to fucking get some clothes that fit you properly. Just saying. Capone's here. Fuck them.
But that's okay. Aw, Ed. She says she's Team Johnny Depp, but keeps asking people to tweet Amber on her behalf, asking them to give Amber her number. No! What I did was I said, please tweet this to this right here.
Oh, so she was tweeting. I didn't even realize this because I really didn't listen to this before. Oh.
Get your facts straight when you're talking about me. It's called Dear Miss Amber Heard. That's what it was.
Wait. Oh, so she like really thought Amber wanted to see that video that had nothing to do with Amber? She really thought that Amber wanted to watch a video that had nothing, barely even mentioned her. Barely even fucking mentioned her.
Dear Miss Amber Heard, could you all tweet that? And you did, and I thank you for that. So,
can you all tweet that? What the fuck? What kind of fucking drugs is she on today?
All my little haters from 3-4 years ago are now not kissing my ass.
All right, so all her little haters from 3 or 4 years ago, like 5 million other people, are watching the Johnny Depp trial. Like, she thinks this is about her. The whole trial's about her. We just happen to be watching it and following these channels, and she popped up on there, so we commented on it. Like, she thinks it's about her, though. She thinks we're following it because of her. I had no fucking idea that she was following it, and I could prove that. Because somebody sent me a picture of her in the courtroom. They emailed me, and I'm like, that's not her. Like, that can't be her. And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, it does look like her. I'm like, she's not there. I had no idea she was even there. Somebody had to tell me, because I don't care what she's doing.
Basically sucking it, because they are fucking it. So, wait, what's the goal here?
Wait, how are we? Wait.
All my little haters from 3-4 years ago are now not kissing my ass, but basically sucking it.
What? What? That's almost as weird as one of her followers that came in the comment section yesterday. They're like, oh, are you at the market upset because you can't sell your pubes? I'm like, what? What the fuck does that even mean? Sell my pubes? Like, what are you fucking talking about, dude? Like, is that why did your brain go to my pubes? Like, at selling pubes? Who does that? That's not even funny. It's just weird. That's the type of people that follow her, though, apparently. But, like, we're kissing your ass. Do you know what kissing your ass means? Or sucking your ass? You know, when people use that expression, that usually means, like, we like you and we're sucking your ass because we want you to, you know, give us attention and like us back. But that's not what's happening right there. So, I don't know what she's talking about.
They are fucking up. So, wait, what's the goal here? To make me look like an Amber Heard supporter? Okay. Okay, got here. Right, Marissa, poor princess. We all should have it so bad. I know. Listen, we know where the bitch lives. Oh, you want to come up? Come on up.
So now, all right, Marissa, please, you know where I live? Come to my fucking house, bitch. You come to my house. Don't send anybody else here because we know you like to do that. You come here yourself. Please show up at my front door.
What you doing? I'm not gonna be here long. I just I was like, what? Oh my God.
What? Oh my God.
This is still live. Somebody's gonna send it to Tiffany.
All right. Well, first of all, why? Why would we have to send it to Tiffany? Tiffany hates you too, Marissa. I don't know if you've realized that, but what does that mean? What does that mean? And yeah, I'm still alive. Thank God I'm still alive. But I don't spend every waking second of my life on YouTube because I actually enjoy time with my family, Marissa. Yeah, that thing that you don't fucking do. I could have took that further, but I'm just gonna shut up.
Just for kicks. You just had tamales? Yeah, the Dear Miss Amber Heard letter. Yeah. Well, unbelievable. Some people need help. She's probably jealous of her. 4 years.
I'm jealous.
4 years?
4 years.
4 years, Robbie. Hold on. Robbie, I'm going to send you something. You're going to be like, I swear on my life.
Did Robbie say that? Because if he did, that's kind of fucked up, Robbie. Not going to lie. But I don't think he did say that. I don't know. Robbie comes in here all the time. I'm nothing but nice to Robbie. But
see, Robbie.
Everybody's
Those
obsessed.
Are comments on the-
So the second you make any comment about her, you're obsessed with her. You're obsessed. Just like Laura. Her and Laura, same narcissistic thinking. It's obsession. They must be jealous of me. That's what it is. It can't be that you're on a public platform, right? It can't be that. It has to be that we're jealous, right?
Video. Yeah, so weird. So weird. Where are the tamales located in Sam's? In the back where the fruit.
All right. See, I'm having trouble just getting through this little clip here.
The food is like.
All right. I think that's it. We don't need to hear this anymore. Tamales. This bitch is talking about tamales. Now, you know what's funny? She wants to call us obsessed, right? And here's what's funny about this. She wants to call us, or anybody who comments on her, they're obsessed with her for 4 years. Here's what's funny. This bitch, fucking, again, I'm going to remind you guys, drove to Virginia, okay? Fucking paid like $300 a night for a hotel room for like 2 weeks to stalk a celebrity. But then she's going to call us obsessed because from the comfort of my own home, okay, while I'm outside smoking a cigarette at my fucking son's hockey tournament, I left a comment on a page. But I'm obsessed, right? I'm obsessed. I don't even come on here daily like she does. This woman who's streaming daily, okay? But I'm obsessed. This woman who flies around the world following the Backstreet Boys, every fucking thing that they go to, she's going to tell me that I'm fucking obsessed. The person who's home, who's barely online, okay? Who doesn't live stream maybe once a week, if even, who was gone for 4 months from this fucking platform. I'm obsessed, right? Okay, girl. Because I make one comment. I'm obsessed. Ugh, I can't. She's so triggered that people think that she's supporting Amber Heard, and I think it's fucking hilarious. I think it's exactly what she deserves. I think it's just the beginning of her fucking karma. Well, no, I'm sorry. The beginning was when she fucking wore that tight outfit at the fucking Brian Laundrie thing. I mean, this woman who flies all over the place, right? To go to these cases and harasses families, the Wells. She's going to tell other people that they're obsessed. I mean, is this fucking real life right now? Like, am I dreaming? Somebody slap me in the fucking face and wake me up because didn't the lady at the hotel accuse her of stalking Johnny? Probably, because she is a stalker. She stalks a lot of people, so when she calls people obsessed, it's like, bitch, takes one to know one. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what she thought, like, she's going to scare me by saying she'll send that shit to Tiffany. Dude, go right the fuck ahead, because I'll be also there to remind everybody how shitty that motherfucker is too. Okay? Thanks. Must be hell going over the hill, being an over the hill groupie. Yeah. Yeah, right? Purple Rain, that's a good point. She loves to support the victimizers. It really is surprising that she's not supporting Amber because she loves to support the people that victimize other people. That's her thing. That's totally her thing. I mean, she literally played a video where she's outside yelling and fighting with this woman. And I'm like, why? Why is that your fucking job, dude? To stand outside of a courthouse where there's a serious trial going on, dude. This guy just wants to move on with his fucking life. It's been 5 years. I really was thinking about this weekend because I was like, dude, right? My mom died in 2016, same year that he got divorced from Amber Heard. I had to go through 2.5 years of hell with my brother and his wife and all this fucking torture. Who, by the way, Amber and my brother's wife, they got a lot in common. Same kind of fighting tactics, because I listened to a couple of the recordings of her, the way she talks and over talks and doesn't shut the fuck up. It's the same thing. The same tactics, And I'm like, they got a lot of shit in common, these two. But like, I only had to go through that for 2.5 years, and then I never had to talk to them again. I couldn't imagine being stuck in that shit now, 5 years later, still being stuck in it, in this battle with these people. And that's what narcissists do. They keep you engaged in these battles with them. You know what I'm saying? They'll keep you entangled in a court case for years and years and years. I mean, I know it's him who brought the court case against her, but it's because he's trying to move on with his life and she just won't allow that to happen. She's writing articles. It's like, dude, just let this guy move on with his life. Amber, go find somebody else to victimize and, move on with, let him move on with his life. This man hasn't been able to move on with his life. He lost everything because of this woman, and I've been through that. I've been through a court fucking case with a narcissist who's trying to fight you every step of the way over every little fucking thing, and lying and lying and lying. I mean, my brother's wife did the same thing. She would lie to the attorneys. She lied to my brother's attorney one time and told him that I recorded him. I never fucking recorded him. Like, she just lied for the sake of lying, and it's infuriating to go through that. Like, I know what he's going through, not on a relationship level, but like, I had to fight somebody like that. And I know what it's like to deal with a person like that. And it's fucking horrible, horrible. So, this man just wants to move on with his life. And, I don't agree with whoever it is that's passing out these flyers. They shouldn't be doing that because they could potentially taint the jury pool. I mean, whatever the hell was on the flyer, it really wasn't anything crazy, but it's just, there's no need for it. There's no need for it. It's all a distraction away from what's really happening. But this man just wants to get through this court trial and move on with his life. And that, you standing outside harassing this woman is not helping the situation. Is Capone in here running his fucking mouth? Because I can't see him. But I keep seeing people talking to him. So where is he? Why the fuck are you here, Capone? Seriously, if you are here. Because it's just like, talk about fucking obsessed. Capone, you're in here. Exactly. He's everywhere I am stalking. So he comes on my community posts. I see people tagging him. Oh my God. Good God. Good God. I think he does enjoy the put downs, wild one. I'm pretty sure he does. Why nobody see? Here's the problem. Nobody's talking about Laura, but if you want me to, I will, because I could address her ass too. I could. But you want me to? Since you're in here, you might as well screen record this, okay? Because I heard Laura's little response to me the other day. But, unlike Laura, I was busy, like actually busy. So I didn't have time to sit there making videos or anything like that. Because I was with my family, enjoying my weekend. So I was like, whatever. Not that important. Not important enough. So she went on a whole rant, okay, the other day. Laura went on a whole fucking rant the other day about how I guess my community post that I wrote that, Laura's sitting here, and I think it's extremely unfair given the circumstances, Laura's a victim here, poor Laura is grieving. I feel horrible about her situation. I absolutely do. I feel horrible about, what she's going through, and especially what her son's going through. Forget her. She don't care. She's made that more than abundantly clear. Anybody who sits there and feels bad for her and thinks she's grieving, please don't, because Anybody who's like, yeah, I walked in there and I looked at the casket and I felt nothing. I felt nothing. That's not somebody who's grieving. Okay. Just saying. Now, could you go numb after, you know, somebody passes away and grief could make you numb sometimes? Yes. That's different though. This is literally like, I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't know anybody who could look at anybody in a casket and say, yeah, I don't feel anything. I've never heard that before. I've never heard those words come out of a person with empathy's mouth, ever. You know, I mean, she's made it more than clear that she believes he deserves what he got and all this other shit. So, I don't really feel bad for her because I think that's disgusting to even say that online, even if you think it. Okay. Because listen, we idealize people when they die. It's just what we do, right? But sometimes you don't have to, sometimes it's okay to be realistic about people when they pass away. You don't have to put them up on a pedestal, as Laura says, pedestal. I don't know what a pedestal is, but you don't have to do that always. You could be realistic about a person. But here's the thing, you don't have to be. And especially online, and especially when it's you've been asked not to by one of the person's kids, okay? You don't have to do that. You just don't. So, do I feel bad for the situation? Absolutely, for her. But I don't feel she's grieving because just some of the things that have come out of her mouth are just not that of a grieving woman. I just I couldn't believe that she said that. She felt nothing. She looked at the casket and felt nothing. Dude, when my ex-boyfriend died, I hadn't seen him for 10 years. Of course I felt something seeing him in a casket, dude. I spent a lot of time with this person, okay, for my teens and 20s, right? I spent like almost a decade of my life, with him as a friend, as, a boyfriend, whatever. And then, we broke up, things didn't work out, unfortunately. Our breakup wasn't really great, it was pretty bad. But of course I felt something seeing him there because I don't, he's a person. He was a person who was a part of my life for a long time. I did a lot of things with him. I traveled a lot, went on my first motorcycle ride with him ever. We did a lot of things together in our lives. And of course I felt sad because I didn't want to see him in a box. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see him in a casket. It's the last place you want to see somebody who you shared your life with. I didn't want to see him like that. My hopes for him was that he cleaned himself up and he got, married and had kids. That was my hopes for him. For us, it would never work out, but I was happy, I would have been happy to see him move on with his life and get clean. So of course I felt something. I felt horrible. I felt horrible for his mom. I felt horrible for his dad, his brother, his friends that were there. I mean, I just don't know how you could say that, how you could not feel something looking at somebody lying there in that position. I just don't know how you could not feel anything at all. I just don't know. I don't know. Even, I don't know. So I didn't sneak into someone else's Patreon. Just saying, Capone, who cares if I snuck into somebody else's Patreon, dude? I've made no bones about that, dude. And guess what? When I did it, I was friends with Laura and Tiffany, and you were all for it. Okay? So now you're going to use it against me. Okay. But anyway, so I don't know how you could do that and not feel anything, but that's fine. So she's going on that because I said in my community post, Laura, you've never cared about anybody else's feelings because, of course, Laura's a victim. I don't bother anybody. I never hurt anybody here. I've never done anything, and she has the balls to ask people to give her a month. And it's like, dude, I wasn't talking about her. I didn't talk about her for, a while. I had no reason to. I went live several times, didn't mention her at all. Okay. I went on Alicia's panel because they were talking about, estates and all that kind of shit. And I was talking to Mary about her, estate. I mean, you could go back and listen to it. I wasn't talking about Laura. I was just saying in general, okay, general terms, this is how it works. And then, yes, I did say, the one thing I said was, Laura, stop talking about this shit online if you don't want people talking about it. I mean, how do you not get how the internet works yet? You still don't fucking understand how the internet works, dude? Really? I find that very hard to believe. That you really still have that sense of entitlement that you should be able to come on here, talk about whatever the fuck you want, and nobody's supposed to comment on it. That's just so unrealistic, dude. It just is. Capone, when have I ever bragged about having class, dude? What are you talking about? Oh my god. So anyway, she's like, I made this post the other day, okay, talking about how, Laura, you sit here, she's saying, oh, I don't talk about people's families. Blah, blah, blah. Laura, you've mentioned my family a million times. Laura's taken a million shots at me about how my family doesn't talk to me. Oh, no wonder why they want nothing to do with her. And here's the thing, okay, about that. Laura has no idea why I don't talk to my family because she's never cared enough, A, to watch my series, okay? Because here's the thing when you're friends with Laura. Laura doesn't really give a shit about you when you're friends with her. The friendship is one-sided and it's about her all the time. It's about Laura and, how could you help Laura out? That's what the friendship's about. It's never about, Laura doesn't really care to get to know you. When she says she doesn't talk about people, it's because she doesn't care enough about people to learn things about them, right? To even have anything to talk about because she has no empathy. She was saying this on her live the other day. Oh, these people have no empathy. Laura, you got fired from your fucking job for not having empathy, dude. I've never heard of that in my entire life on earth. Okay. I don't know anybody else in my whole entire life. 41 years of my life. I've never heard of somebody getting fired from a job for not having fucking empathy. Do you know how fucking serious that is? that happened to you? Crazy. Serene thoughts. No, I didn't play into his hands because I was going to address this anyway. So, so it's like you got fired from your job for not having empathy, Laura. And you've shown on here time and time again that you don't have any. None. Zero. At all. You've said some horrible things to people about their deceased relatives. I mean, just horrible things. Horrible things. You've talked about my family. I can't even count how many times. Oh, no wonder why they don't talk to her. No. But she doesn't even know the story because she never cared to watch my series and she never cared. She did copy it though. I will say that. She did try to copy it and failed miserably because I think she saw at the time, I was having success with it. People were watching it and interested in it. And she would see that. And I think she tried to replicate that. And she did her, what do you call it? Her little fucking series on her custody battle, but it was like a mess. It was just a fucking mess. You failed miserably at trying to copy that, but just saying. But anyway, she never asked me on the phone, what happened. So here's the reason why, okay? I don't talk to my family, Laura. So you could get it through your fucking head. First of all, I've said this a million times. I know this is going to be redundant to people in the chat, but my family, okay, back about 15, 16, 17 years ago at this point now, okay, there was a horrible incident that happened in my family between an older male cousin and a younger female cousin. Okay, my family from that situation decided that it became about a popularity contest and not about what actually happened. And that's that. To sum it up, without getting into details, a little girl was victimized in one of the most horrible ways that you can be. Okay, my family decided to take the side of the fucking victimizer. Okay, and I had to live with that for 10, whatever, 12, whatever amount of years it was. Okay, so when my mom got sick and all this shit happened, I decided it was a good time for me to disconnect myself from the toxic environment that I was living in for 12 to 15 years of my life, where I had to go to parties, family parties, and sit with this fucking asshole, knowing what he did to my little cousin. Okay, I decided to remove myself out of the situation, and I don't talk to those people anymore. Okay, it's carried through our lives for 12 to 15 years, whatever it was at the time, I forgot. It carried through our lives, and my aunt and uncle would be mad at me and they would take things out on me because I'm the whistleblower. I'm the one who outed his ass because I'm the one who, my little cousin came to and told what was going on. So I'm the person who basically, had to put it out there, what happened. And so my aunt and uncle have taken it out on me. They're, obviously barking up the wrong tree. And it sucked. But I dealt with it for 15 years out of respect for my mom. But it just, things got to a point in my family where I just couldn't do it anymore. I just couldn't do it anymore. You're not going to sit here and disrespect me. And then on top of that, that's always lingering in the back of my head, is that you motherfuckers completely turned your backs on a little girl that was victimized in one of the worst ways that you can be victimized, by somebody that you trust and love in your family. Okay. So when I pulled away from them, it was the best fucking decision I've ever made in my life, because I'm not in that anymore. I don't have to sit at parties with this person and fake smile to them anymore. I don't have to do any of that. I don't have to support it anymore. I never did support it, but I fought with everybody. And that's basically why, because I felt it was wrong what happened to this girl. So, but Laura doesn't know that. She doesn't know that because she never cared to find out. As far as my brother goes, me and my brother had a great relationship up until he met his wife, who's a narcissist, much like you, Laura. And, shit happens. I don't talk to him. But Laura, you don't talk to your brother either. Let's be real. You, instead of going to your niece's graduation last year, okay, you decided to go get your stomach fucking cut out in Mexico. So don't sit here and talk about my relationship with my brother when we all know that you only call your brother when you need something. Okay. You guys don't talk for years at a time. Stop lying to everybody, because you don't have a relationship with him either. So then there was that. And then there was the whole fact that I said, I gave examples of how Laura's gone after other people. My family's information was in her Patreon chat. Okay. I've said this a million times. Laura's not the person who put it there. I've said that a million times on live, because she's like, out of the whole post that I wrote, she only addressed this, which I find funny because it's the only thing that she could kind of argue with. But there was a whole post of things that Laura has done. And I showed how she doesn't respect other people's deceased relatives. But she thinks that everybody should sit here and be like, don't talk about my husband. Don't talk, or not husband, ex-boyfriend. Don't talk about my kids. Don't talk about this. But she could talk about everybody else's families and say horrible shit about them, right? Like Negs' son, Randy's mom, Amanda Lynn's mother. Who else has she attacked? My family, Alicia's brothers that passed away, saying things about that whole situation, but nobody's allowed to comment on her. No, especially when she puts it out on this public platform called YouTube. So, yes, Soldier, I did the right thing. I know I did. So, she addresses the one thing that I said. Laura had my family's information in her Patreon chats, okay, including their pictures of my minor niece, who was like 5 at the time, links to their Facebook profiles, my husband's Facebook profile, my Facebook profile, okay, the links, not just screenshots, the links to them. So my whole name, my address, my house was in there, okay. I forgave her for it, but the whole point is that, don't sit here and say like, oh, I never did any of these things, when we all know you did. Now, you didn't put the information in there, but you certainly didn't erase it either. You didn't take it out of there. You were okay with the whole conversation that was going on in there. So, don't sit there and act like, you're so innocent. But that was the one thing. And then she's like, and I can't believe this person was my friend. And Laura, you don't understand, dude. You had no loyalty to me as a friend. Okay. You went and you decided that it was more important for you to sell a couple of candles than it was to be a good friend. Right. So where is it that you think that I owe you some type of like loyalty in friendship? That those days are gone, Laura. I gave you way more chances than you should have ever had with me. Okay. I think I was pretty nice to you, considering. So you don't get that respect anymore. That respect went out the window a year ago, Laura, for you to respect you as a friend. It's gone. You have no respect, not only not for me, but for anybody here. So the fact that you think you deserve respect back is just really amazing. Really is. Anytime, wild one. I'm sorry that you're even dealing with that right now. Yeah, she doubled down about what she said about Negs. I mean, don't just listen. Don't sit there and act like you don't fucking see. If Laura wanted to approach these situations, and I believe if she really wanted things the way she says she wants them, here's how you could approach it. Okay, this is my advice, and I don't know why the fuck I'm even giving her advice, but this is just me personally. If I was in her shoes, okay, I would be like, listen. I know I haven't been the best person here. I'm going to use actually Two Tacos as an example, okay? Two Tacos really fucking humbled herself after, she fell out with MGL. She humbled herself and fully admitted that, like, listen, I've done shitty things here. I've been a horrible person here. She wasn't asking for people to, take mercy on her soul or anything like that. But she humbled herself and admitted that, she's done shitty things here and said shitty things to people that she shouldn't have said. Lori could never do that. If she really wanted people to leave her alone for a month so that she could deal with things, she would A, get the fuck off of the internet and stop sharing this shit online. Okay. B, because, unfortunately, Lori, you got a lot of haters here. So, people are going to comment on it. I mean, you can't control that. You haven't figured that out in the last 4 years. But the other thing is humble your ass, Laura, and be like, you know what? I know there's been times where I've gone after people's family members and I've said horrible things. And you know what? I understand now what those people are going through. And I'm sorry that I attacked those people in that way because now I'm dealing with it. Humble your ass. And maybe that's how people will leave you alone. If they see a little humility in you and see that you actually give a shit, for some of the things that you've said and done to people here, regarding their deceased relatives, maybe people would feel bad for you. But I mean, I didn't even say anything that I need to feel bad about. I really didn't. I mean, if me saying, Laura, stop talking about this for the sake of your son, okay, stop putting your son's father down and talking about this for the sake of your son on the internet and giving out all this guy's personal information on here for the sake of your son, if that's a bad thing, well then fuck me. I guess I'm a horrible person. If that's a bad thing to say. I wasn't talking anything bad about your ex, your son especially, and I never would, especially going through what he's going through. I'm just saying, you know what? You need to fucking Capone. When did she humble herself to Tiffany? She just sucked Tiffany's dick. That's all she's done. Is suck her dick. She hasn't humbled herself. When? That's because Tiffany's the only one that's stupid enough to talk to her again, Capone, for 3 times. Those 2 idiots keep fucking each other over and then talking to each other. I would never talk to Tiffany again after she told me that, tried to make the internet believe that my kids were showering together. Like, that just I wouldn't even stoop to that. That tells me that Laura has no self-respect for herself, because I would never talk to a person like that again, ever. Just like I'd never talk to you again, Capone, on a friendship level, because you love talking about my son all the time, dude. You're obsessed with my son and my husband. It's fucking creepy at this point. So, I'm not gonna. I don't want a friendship with you anymore, dude. It's fucking weird, Just saying. But anyway, listen, Capone, you don't want to hear the answer. You're just as bad as she is, because honestly, if I told Laura this, and I don't even know if you were even around at this point, Capone, because you're so new compared to me and how long I've known Laura. Okay. So I went on Laura's panel years ago when I wasn't friends with her. The first time I fell out with her, and I tried giving her advice, and it was the same advice, dude. It was like Laura, you got to accept some responsibility in your part in things, and humble yourself a little bit. And she just didn't want to hear it. I got frustrated and I just got off the panel with her because I was like, you know what? She doesn't want to hear it. And that's just the reality, dude. She can't sit on here talking shit and sharing all this crazy personal information about her family and then being like, oh, well, nobody has the right to comment on it. Laura says shit about my family all the time, Capone. The only reason it gets me annoyed is because she doesn't actually know the story. I listen to the things that she says about Brad and the things that she said about her son and all this other shit. So I can comment on it. She's never listened to my story, dude. She doesn't even know it. She's just, copying with whatever she thinks is going to trigger me. She never actually watched my videos or anything like that because she's too self-centered to want to get to know people on a personal level like that. She don't when you're friends with Laura, she does nothing to like try to get to know you as a person because she really doesn't fucking care. Really what she wants to know is, what could you do for me? How could you do something for me? How could you help me? How could you enrich my life? That's what she looks for in friendships. It's not, I want to get to know this person and know about their life and stuff because they're cool. And I want to have things in common with them, which is what normal people bond on. She just wants to know, how could you help me? Like Capone, to be quite honest with you, dude. And I've had this conversation with her, and you can believe me or not, the only reason she likes you so much is because you send her tons of screenshots and give her information. The second you stop doing that, she's going to have no use for you. You could take it or leave it, dude, but it's the truth. Just like when Hummingbird was about to leave, she always used to tell me when she's scared of Hummingbird leaving, not because Hummingbird's a good friend to her, not because she loves Hummingbird as a person, and, Hummingbird and her have a lot of things in common. She was scared that Hummingbird was going to leave and take other people with her, which means more money was going to be leaving. That's what she was scared about. She wasn't scared about losing the friendship. She was scared about money leaving. That's all it was about. And when she used to say these things to me, it's a turnoff, dude. Like, all these little things used to add up to me in my head. That's like, dude, like, this person just, there's nothing genuine about them. I don't know, Capone, you don't really talk to her behind the scenes like that. So, maybe I saw something different, but, God forbid you ever gave me the fucking benefit of the doubt. I mean, I became friendly with Laura because we were both from New York. We both had things in common like that. She grew up really a town away from me. That's initially what our friendship started over. Then we both have YouTube channels, obviously, but we had things in common, some things, not everything. We're also a lot different, but I liked her attitude at first, until I just really started to get to know her and see through her and see who she really was. And that person, I just see that there's nothing really too deep there. There's nothing too deep there. Tell all her Patreons to stop paying her and see, how those friendships last. Even her friendship with Tiffany, she has something to gain from that. If Tiffany still had 2,000 people in her chats, Laura would have no interest in her. Trust me, and never talking to her again. It's all fake, man. It's all fake. Excuse me for wanting to have real people around me. Like, that don't just use people for fucking money and shit. She has a hidden channel she isn't even using to beg everyone to keep their membership active. Well, Susie, I don't know how, because you really can't. If your channel's hidden, all your memberships go with it. Maybe she didn't know that at the time, though. Your memberships go, everything goes with it. When you bring it back, like, you lose your views if you delete videos. She deleted the channel and then she's complaining that she lost watch hours on there. It's just like, she's so entitled to things. But yes, Laura, I did say that you never shared my information in your Patreon. I did say that publicly several times, and I'll stand by that. But at the same time, you didn't delete it either. So, but that was the only thing she addressed in my whole entire post, which I detailed all other times that she didn't give a shit about other people. And I'm sorry I left out one person in particular that I really felt like Laura just had no empathy for. When she was going through a really hard time because she watched a family member pass away, okay, horribly, same way I watched my mom pass away, in pain, and it was just a horrible, horrible thing that this person had to go through. And Laura tells me that this person's ruining her Patreon with her emotional problems. It's my Patreon. These people are here for me, not for her. And it's like, dude, the girl was having a hard time with this death. And she was talking to people in your Patreon, and like, you should be happy to foster an environment like that where, people could help each other out like that. Okay. Maybe sometimes she didn't say things the way you fucking would have wanted her to say things, but you also, I said that to her. I said, well, her, family member passed away and, she's grieving, dude. And I know what that's like. I know exactly what that's like. But she had no empathy for it. And then not only does she have no empathy for it, she calls an entire meeting, right, in her group and embarrasses her in front of everybody and then segregates her. Here, you go to the emotional room. Go to the emotional room. I don't want your fucking problems in here. But then she has the balls to come up here and be like, I need a month to deal with all my problems. I need a month. And you're not allowed to talk about me. You're not allowed to talk about me. No, dude, you don't get to fucking make the rules around here. That's what makes it worse for you. When you get up on your fucking lives and you try to make all these rules that everybody else has to abide by, all you do is take the people like me who are like, you ain't fucking telling me how to live my life, Laura. You're going to control my life and tell me that I can't respond. I mean, she literally said that in her live the other day. Oh, you're not going to go and make 10 videos. Dude, I'll make fucking 30 videos if I want to. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me I'm a grown ass woman. You're not going to tell me how I'm allowed to respond to things. It's just not happening. You can't tell me how to respond to things. Like, I would have probably never fucking addressed it if you didn't have to make such a big fucking deal about it. I wouldn't have even addressed it at all. Period. I wouldn't have addressed it. I don't think anything I said the other day on Alicia's panel was bad. All I said, which is the same advice I would give anybody on here, is that if you're going through a fucking hard time, okay, like she's going through right now, don't talk and put all that personal information out just for the sake of your child, dude. That you got a lot of people that don't dislike you here, and that. You have to be aware of that by now. And they're going to talk shit and they're going to have opinions. And if you don't want them talking about it, then you probably just shouldn't put it out there. Listen, I'm a lot more closed off with my personal stuff than I was a year ago because I have to be now. Unfortunately, there's things I'd love to share with you guys. I just can't, because there's fucking assholes here that do horrible things. So I really am way more careful about things that I talk about on here, about my personal life, because, this just isn't the environment for it. It just isn't. Unfortunately, I would love to share things like that, some of the things with you guys, but I just can't, so I share them with my friends that I know I can trust, people that have been in my circle for years now, like B-Fergs and Purple Rain and Soldier, those are the people now that I could tell these things to, and Hummingbird, that I'll just talk to them. There's no need for me to tell. I would love to share them with everybody, but I just can't, and it sucks, but it's just reality. I just can't anymore. And I know it's like, I shared a whole story about my situation, my life and what I went through when my mom passed away. So yeah, does it sound a little hypocritical? Sure. But I mean, this is just facts. I haven't pissed off as many people as Laura has on here. I haven't. I don't have as many enemies as Laura has on here. And not everybody watched my series. So the idiots who comment on it, I know when you didn't watch it, because I could tell by what you're saying that you didn't watch it. Because if you did watch it, then you would know that what you're saying is just stupid. You don't have to agree with me or anything that I put in there, but I shared the story of what I went through. I have no plans on talking to these people ever again. I'm a grown adult and I have no plans on having relationships with any of these people. And I knew that before I even went into talking about this. And I knew that people were going to judge me, and I accepted that, I mean, fortunately, most of the feedback I've gotten has been positive. The only negative feedback I got is from people who didn't watch it and who just like want to say things. Or the other negative feedback is from, people like Tiffany who watched it, kissed my ass about it. Then we got in a fight and now all of a sudden it's not what it is, but I've gotten all positive feedback on that whole entire series from the people that actually watched it. I've never gotten any negative feedback on it from people who actually watched it, except one person who was just psychotic. We all know who that is. But, you know, other than that one person who actually watched it, you know, nobody else has said anything negative about it because you don't know what the story is about. So, you know, Laura just saying that, oh, no wonder why her brother doesn't want to talk to her. Like, no, Laura, you don't know why my brother doesn't want to talk to me. Oh, she's like, she's a snake. She's a liar. That's what she said about me. I'm a snake. I'm a liar. And I'm jealous of her. That was the other thing. Laura, just give me one example, just one of how I'm jealous of you. Just one. Like one solid example of how I'm jealous of you. I'll wait. I'll wait. But at the end of the day, what I said really wasn't that bad. All I said was, Laura, don't talk about this shit, you know, publicly, just for the sake of your kid, you know, because, dude, when a parent dies and she's acknowledged this herself, like, it's so much different losing a parent as an adult than it is as a kid, as a boy. You know, his dad passing at such an integral time in his life where a boy really needs his father, you know, this is a really, if I had to say any time for a parent to pass away in somebody's life, I would say in the teens are probably the worst time for it to happen because your emotions, you know, are already out of control, and hormones and the confusion and the, you know, the way that you just don't understand life. And she keeps putting these weird time limits on grief. Dude, there's no time limit on grief. You know, she's like, I think like in another month. No, Laura, he's going to grieve for the rest of his fucking life. He's going to grieve for the rest of his fucking life. You don't stop grieving. That's why I'm like, how dare she sit there and say, give me a month? A month isn't, what the fuck are you talking about? A month, dude. You don't stop grieving in a month. You don't get better in a month. You just start realizing what happened to you in a month. But she has these weird fucking time limits on shit. You know, just like these weird rules she writes for everybody and these weirdest roles that she assigns for people. You know, it's, I don't know. She's got this weird thing, you know, like even with her kids, oh, they're going to do this and they're going to do that. And this one's going to be a cop. Like, Laura, you don't know, dude. You don't know. Stop assigning roles to people and just live your life, for fuck's sake. But a month isn't anything, dude. It really isn't. His grief is never going to go away, ever. That's why when you said shit about Randy's mother, Randy was still grieving. When you said thing about, you know, said that shit about Amanda Lynn's mother, Amanda Lynn is still grieving. Okay. When you said shit about Negs is never going to stop grieving, Laura, ever, ever. When you put a kid's face on the fucking candle and said, I don't have to ask for permission, he's fucking dead, those parents are never going to stop grieving the loss of that kid, ever. And then you have the balls to sit there and say, oh, I've never attacked people while they're grieving, while they're going through something. You never stop grieving, dude. So that's a lie. Hey, chick, we're famous, bro. We're famous. Molly Golightly read our comments out on her huge channel today. So we're famous. You're always going to grieve, dude. Always. So when you took those little shots at people while they were grieving, it doesn't matter. There's no time limit on grief, Laura. There's no time limit. So whether you say it's 5 years after the person dies, it hurts just as much. Whether it's said a month later, 2 months later, a year later, 10 years later, it doesn't matter. It hurts just as much. Like, it's so weird to me that she has time limits on grief. There is none. There's no fucking time limits. Fucking weird. She's like planning his grief and her grief. No, it doesn't work like that, dude. She lost her dad. She should know. You're crazy, Gemini. I just, you know, I always go back to the thing. I'm sorry. I still have Hartley's thing up here. I didn't even realize. You know, I always go back to the thing that, like, she got fired from her job for a lack of empathy, you know, and expecting her to understand what normal people who have empathy, you know, go through. Like, we're thinking like normal people, and she's not. You know, she's not a normal person who has normal empathy. So it's like, you know, she takes on this like chameleon thing where she tries to fucking guess how it should be, you know, She tries to mimic what it would be like to have empathy, and it just comes off very disingenuous. That displays as a sociopath that can't actually feel empathy. You know, when she played a video of that kid flying off of a carnival ride, well, whatever it was, whatever kind of ride it was, you know, you don't think that was insensitive to that kid's parents, that video is on your channel? I mean, just because it's other places on the internet, it doesn't mean it belongs on your channel. Like, I just find it really funny how she's like, give me time, give me a month. You know, when you have a whole channel that's really centered around discussing other people's tragedies, you know, your whole channel is centered around discussing other people's tragedies, you know, and you don't think that those people feel the same way that you do, that they just don't want to be discussed? I mean, it's just like the sense of entitlement is beyond, really is. It's just fucking crazy how she has this sense of entitlement. Like, you know, everybody respect me, but I don't have to follow the same rules that I put out there for everybody else. Did you hear her justifying taking X pots, pans, cookware? Who? Amber? I did hear that. She's psychotic. I swear to God, one day I was like thinking about this. I'm like, I should play, because I've been listening to, obviously, you know, their arguments and stuff on here. And I'm like, I should play my brother, you know, my mom taped an argument that she was having with my brother's wife, because there's a lot of like similarities in the way that my brother's wife talks to the way Amber talks. You know, everything that she does is totally justified. It's everybody else all the time. It's just interesting to hear those types of people talk like that. Imagine a candle with her ex's picture on it. Wonder how she would like that. Exactly, Hartley. You know, it's like you've you've done all these insensitive things to other people and said all these insensitive things to other people, and then like you demand, like you have some nerve demanding respect from people. It's fucking crazy to me. She's done nothing to me that I should ever respect her again. But she really sits there. That's the other thing too. She's like, I've done nothing to these people. Nothing for them to hate me so much. Laura, I don't hate you. I don't care enough about you to hate you, but you know, I don't hate you. I just don't like the shit that you do and say. That's, you know, I don't hate you. I don't know why you think I hate you. I think you're an asshole. That's really what it comes down to. But hate's a pretty strong word. I don't care enough about you to actually hate you. She gives zero respect. I demand all the respect. So would you let her know that's not how it works? Exactly. Yeah, hate's a really strong word, D-Rod. I don't hate you. I just hate the shit that you do on here. You know, I hate the fact that you're so fucking entitled and you feel like you deserve some type of special treatment when you don't give that same treatment back. You know, she's like, I don't talk about people, but she does talk about people. She has all these people fooled, you know, and it's just, listen, hopefully some of them learn, some of them might never learn. It is what it is. She said that Allie farted and played it. Who does that? Her. I mean, she traveled down. Okay. She traveled down to Tennessee, right? To like put herself in the middle of these people's tragedy. But then is like, no, I deserve respect. Don't talk about me for a month. What the fuck, dude? Really unbelievable. But again, I don't know why she comes after me, you know, when I really didn't say, in my opinion, anything, you know, that horrible that day. She's triggered by me saying, Laura, stop talking about this stuff. And I'm like, I'm only saying it to look out for your kid, dude. Because, you know, I've had somebody do that to me where they talk shit about my dad. As my sister, I mean, she has a right to talk about my dad too. It's her dad too, so she has a right to say what she wants to about my dad, but I don't have to like it. She lied about my dad online, and it was fucking heartbreaking to see that she's putting out to the world that my dad was this like fucking deadbeat father, which he just wasn't. That's just not true, you know? And it's like, you're a grown ass adult and you're complaining about fucking she was complaining online that I got a Cabbage Patch Kid, okay? I was fucking 3 years old, and that she says that my mom bought her a beach towel for Christmas, which my mom would never just buy somebody a beach towel. That's bullshit. But, like, you're complaining that my sister's like almost 20 years older than me, okay? So when I was 3 getting Cabbage Patch Kids, she was like in her 20s, like, engaged and shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You wanted a Cabbage Patch Kid? When you were 3 and my dad was married to her mother, my dad, I'm sure, spoiled the shit out of them, just like he did to me and my brother when we were kids. My dad worked his ass off 7 days a week when I was a kid, and that's why I had everything that I had. She's acting like this victim, but my parents had offered her a million times to come live with us, to go to school with us, and she wrote this whole big thing about my dad, that my dad told her she does, she's not getting money for college and all this shit. Bitch, you didn't even graduate high school. Why would my dad give you money for college when you didn't even fucking graduate high school? You dropped out in the 10th grade and forged his signature to get out of school and drop out. And then you're going to sit on Facebook and complain about not getting money for college? What? Like, that's insane. And then make it like my dad's some deadbeat dad who told you to fuck off and go live your life. That's not how it happened, dude. You made choices that my dad said. My parents told her, you could come live with us, but you have to finish school. Well, she didn't want to finish school. So my parents are like, well, then you're not coming to live with us, because you're not going to come here at 16 years old and live in our house and, not go to school. Like, that's not happening. So my dad's a horrible father for wanting you to fucking have a high school diploma. Get the fuck out of here. And then you're going to write shit about him online like he was some deadbeat. If there's one thing, my dad did take care of us. He might not have been the best, like, emotionally available father. If she wrote something about that, I'd have no problem. Just don't lie about him. You know what I'm saying? Don't fucking lie and act like you're some type of victim, that he like fucked you over, because he didn't. He certainly didn't. My dad was always trying to, so was my mom. And that was probably the most hurtful part, was that she called my mom a homewrecker in that same thing. And I'm like, dude, my mom, like, always, like, I was there. I was there. My mom always would try to get my dad to fix things with them, because my sister would disappear for like, years at a time and not talk to us, and she would get mad. And my mom would always encourage my dad to, send a birthday card, try to open the door to communication with her, like, take the first step. And then for you to sit there and call my mom a homewrecker, that's so hurtful. Like, that's just so hurtful, because she's, the furthest thing from that. Like, it's just so fucked up to see somebody writing bullshit like that about your parents online, and I've heard Laura sit there and say, to her son, you're going to hear bad things about your dad. Don't believe those things. He's your hero. He's this. But then you're the one bad mouthing him. Do you realize how fucking confusing that is to the kid? Like, you're confusing him. So me just giving the advice that you should stop slandering him online is just for his benefit. And if that makes me a bad fucking shitty person, well, then so be it, dude. So be it. That's my half sister pulled. She wouldn't go to school. She dropped out junior year, had her first kid at 17. Her mother didn't care much. Yeah, Remy. Well, that's the whole thing. My sister wanted to have her cake and eat it too. She's like, she got mono, right? She was sick. She missed like a month of school. So she probably would have had to go to like summer school, or, maybe repeat, a grade or something. But she, like, instead of going back to school and trying to catch up, she just decided to drop out. Her mother contacted my dad, and asked if my dad would sign her out. And my dad was like, fuck no, she's getting an education. I want her to finish school. So then my parents offered they were going to fucking give her own room, make it all nice for her. and then she could come out here and live with us. She lived in Queens, and my parents were out here, and they were like, you could come live with us. We're gonna have to sign up for school, and she didn't want to do that. So my parents were like, well, then you're not coming to live with us. Like, I don't think that's an unfair thing for a parent to do. I really just don't. My dad wanted my sister to get an education so that she didn't end up in the same situation that her mother ended up in, because her mother was dependent on my dad. When my dad and her got divorced, she had a lot of mental problems. And when my dad, and her got divorced, my dad paid her child support and alimony. And she didn't work. Well, she started working, but wasn't any type of job that was respectable. She was like basically prostituting. And my dad wanted better for my sister. If that makes him a horrible fucking person, then I mean, I guess, but like, that's just not the case. She thinks because I'm so much younger than her, she could like lie. It's no, girl. I know what my parents did. I lived it. So, my parents wanted her to be part. We always tried to include her in everything. Everything. Even when I was a kid, I used to ask her if she wanted to come chaperone my school trips, and she wouldn't come because what'd she say? She had agoraphobia, some bullshit. Who knows? But, my parents would have brought her out here and helped her. She just like, she wanted to be lazy. And my dad was like, that's not happening. You're not going to come out here and be lazy. And guess what? My dad was the same way with me, and he was the same way with my brother. It's not like we got some kind of special treatment. If I never would have dropped out of school ever, because I knew it wouldn't have happened. My dad would have kicked me right out of the fucking house. I would have been homeless if I dropped out of school. So, I had to finish school. I had to have a job. When I got a car, I bought for myself. I had to have a job to pay the insurance. My parents didn't pay for my insurance. They didn't do that shit. I mean, my mom did help me out later in life when I lost my job, but thank God, she did. But like, my parents wanted to teach us how to be responsible adults, so it's not like we were spoiled and she got, shit on. It's just that she didn't want to be an adult and have responsibilities. I've been working since I was in 3rd grade. My dad brought us to work every weekend with him. I mean, I wouldn't say I was working, but he taught us how to work. When I was a kid. When I was in middle school, my dad owned a route where he delivered, cookies and shit to stores in Queens. I would go with him during the summer. On the weekends, I would, go to work with him, and he'd pay me for the day. Like that's how I was raised. I was raised by blue collar, hardworking parents that wanted us to be hard workers too. And my sister just like wanted everything handed to her. And that's just not how my parents were. I'm glad that my parents taught me to be like that. I mean, yeah, I don't work now, but that was a financial decision for my husband and myself. But it's like, I would be, trust me, if we needed the money, I would have no problem working. If we were struggling, I would go right back to work, no problem. She had said in the past, it's because of medical insurance. What's that, chick? When we were kids, it probably looked like we got a lot. We lived in a nice house. We had a pool. My sister, I always used to say it to my mom too. My sister got left in this apartment with her mother, who was a fucking total nutbag, and it's sad. It's sad, the situation. They never had money. I mean, she used to lie to my sister and tell her that my dad didn't send child support and shit. So, I can't even fully blame my sister, because I feel like her mother poisoned her a lot against my dad and my mom, and that happens. Parents brainwash their kids against, the other parent, and that sucks. But, as an adult, I mean, you're still carrying these things in your fucking late 50s. You need to fucking grow up, dude. Be thankful for what you have now. My sister hasn't worked a day in her life. Not a fucking day. You know, her husband's been taking care of her since she was in her fucking teens. So, like me, I worked all my 20s. I mean, she worked a little bit here and there, but never like I did. I don't even think she ever had a full-time job, which is gonna suck for her one day because she's not gonna have Social Security. You and your husband works his butt off so you could come on here and tear people down who want nothing to do. You know, Capone, my husband worked his butt off so he could put a roof over mine and my son's heads. Okay. Dude, Capone, do you even live on your own, dude? Or have you ever lived on your own? Or do you still live with your mommy and daddy? Okay. I don't think you live on your own, dude. I really don't. Do you support a family, Capone? Like a real man? Because I don't think you do. You know nothing about my husband and me, Capone. Nothing. My husband works his butt off. No, my husband works his ass off so we could pay our mortgage, so we could pay our taxes, so my son could fucking have his hockey, okay? He's in fucking on 2 hockey travel teams, Capone, which you'll never be able to fucking afford. And you'll never have a fucking kid. My husband doesn't work for me, dude. He works for us, for our whole family, for himself, for my kid. The fuck are you talking about, dude? He doesn't work so I could sit home on my ass, dude. You fucking idiot. I have nobody to take care of my kid. Unlike other people like Laura, right? Laura lived with her mommy and daddy until she was in her 40s, and they helped her raise her kids when they were little. You know, I never had that, Capone. I don't have anybody here to help me raise my kid. I have to do it myself. So I have to get up and get my son on the bus every day and get him to school every day. Okay. And I had to do that since he was a baby. I've had to take care of my son. Laura had help from her mommy and daddy up until her kids were fucking almost teenagers. My husband works for me. He'll work for me, Capone. I'm not one of those wives that sits around and spends my husband's money like a fucking idiot. That's not me. So, get the wrong person here. Are you jealous that I'm home though, Capone? That I don't have to work? Because you sound like you are. But you don't seem to have a job either, Capone. When was the last? What does this guy do for a living? Seriously, how does he survive? It's real funny because he loves to use everybody's personal shit against them. But what's your story, Capone? What the fuck do you do for money? How do you live? How do you eat? You don't share nothing about yourself. Adult daycare. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Laura has also talked about wanting to land a rich dude to take care of her. So just stop, Capone. That's so true, Crazy Gemini. She has said it a million times that she doesn't even want to date somebody unless they have a good job and that they could take care of her. I mean, shit. Look at her talking about how her kid fucking hopefully he wins the lawsuit so he could take care of me. She wants her fucking kid to take care of her, dude. I would never expect my son to take care of me. Why should I prove it to you? I don't know what the fuck that even means. Why should I prove it to you? Someone, Capone, don't you realize I know your first name, okay? I know where you live. And if I really needed to find out your information, I can. If I really wanted to dox you, I would. But we know that you don't work, dude, because you're online all day, every day. I know you don't work. Laura has told me that you don't work, dude. You are online. You're watching every live. Every time somebody mentions her, you're the person screenshotting it. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to surmise that you don't work. So, are you like a trust fund baby or something? Like, it's either you're disabled and you can't work, okay? Or your parents take care of you. I mean, come on, dude. Not stupid. You don't work, but then you're going to sit here and talk about my husband working, dude, so I could sit online. How come Laura sits online all day? You really think that Laura supports herself with candles and YouTube? You really think that? You don't think she gets help from anybody else? You're that stupid, huh? That just shows me how out of touch with reality you are, dude. Because if your rent is $1,500 a month, okay, and you're not even making that on YouTube with all your shit, you're not supporting yourself. Somebody's helping you out. But you want to sit there and believe that she completely supports herself off of YouTube? You go right the fuck ahead and do that, dude. But I'll tell you right now, that's not true. It can't be. Any adult with a brain knows that. You have to pay utilities, cable, heat. I mean, there's other bills, insurance, car payments. No, she doesn't have a car payment because her car's like 40 years old. But I mean, she has to pay insurance, registration. God forbid something happens. I mean, you really believe that she supports herself off of YouTube and candles? Okay. Okay, dude. You're fucking dumb. I never said getting help is wrong or bad. Genius. Well, Capone, you basically just came in here and insulted me, insulted my husband, which I don't know why you're so obsessed with my husband, dude. Like, why do you keep bringing my husband up? My husband's 10 times the man that you will ever be, Capone. You don't even know my husband. He doesn't come on here. I don't bring him on here. So leave his fucking name out of your mouth because I don't talk about him on here. Leave him out of your fucking mouth, dude. My husband's a real man, unlike you. Okay? Yeah, that's a huge expense, Crazy Gemini. Huge expense. Huge. I worked my whole life, Capone. I guarantee you, I've worked more in my life than you have. Excuse me. I've worked since I was 16 years old, dude. I always had a job. There was a couple of times in my life where I was out of work for a couple of months and I still hustled and figured out a way to make money. I always made money and found a way to make money and have a job. So don't fucking tell me. Like, you act like I sit here and I've never worked a day in my life. Dude, the fuck out of here. How come I'm not working right now? Laura's job is YouTube. Why can't my job be YouTube? That's not an insult to your husband. But Capone, there's no reason for you to even bring my husband up, dude. Stop talking about my husband and my son, please. You want to insult me? I don't give a fuck, dude. You could call me a bitch, an asshole. Stop bringing my husband and my son up, dude. Your obsession with them is weird. And stop fucking backpedaling. You know what you were trying to say. You know nothing about my life, Capone. Nothing. You don't know why I'm home. You don't know what our financial situation is, why I chose to stay home and be a mom. I can't go back to work. Like I said, I don't have somebody to help me with my kid. Like a lot of people do. A lot of people have relatives nearby that pick their kids up off the bus stop and shit while they're at work. I don't have that. And then, so the only other choice is to pay somebody to do that. Why am I going to do that? Why am I going to pay somebody to do that? So I'll be working to have somebody else take care of my son. That makes no sense. When I'm the mother and I chose to have him, so I'm going to stay home because I can and take care of my son and all his needs and my house instead of paying somebody else to do it. Why would I do that? Go to work just so I could pay for somebody to take care of my son? That's like the stupidest thing ever. According to your own standards, you put it out there, we could talk about it. No, Capone, because I don't, you're not being truthful, dude. That's not the truth. My husband doesn't go to work so I can sit home on my ass and go on YouTube. That's not why he works. He works so he can support us our whole lives. Hockey, everything that we do, vacations that we take, our cars, our yard. We pay somebody to do our fucking mow our lawn. That's why he works. We have a beautiful house. We own it. We don't rent it. Like, really think he goes to work so I could sit here and on YouTube? No, that's not why. Can I sit here on YouTube while he's at work? Sure, why not? But there's the other thing, Capone. I go on YouTube when my family's not home. You know, I don't sit there and ignore my kids while I'm sitting on YouTube all night cursing about people. I wait until my family's not here because when they are here, I like to spend time with them. I like to go do things with them. I go to all my son's hockey practices. I go to all his games. Okay. I'm involved with his hockey team. I mean, you know, there's some other people here that don't go to their kids' football games, wrestling matches, whatever the fuck they have, practices. I go to everything. I'm not just a taxi cab to bring my kid places. I'm actually a parent. very heavily involved in my son's life. No matter how much you fucking assholes want to spin it. I've been the class mom for his class every year that I was able to. This year they didn't do it, and last year they didn't do it because of COVID. But from when he was in nursery school, I was a fucking class mom, or did some type of involvement in his class. I don't just sit on my ass all day. Plus, I have this thing called hobbies that I do. Tons of shit that I do. Other than just sitting on YouTube, Capone. I go live maybe once a week, if even. But you're gonna sit here and judge me when you got other people who are fucking depending on this shit to live? Get the fuck out of here. Who are on here 10 times a day? Like yourself. You're on here way more than I am, Capone. I don't even fucking come on here even half as much as you do. Even a fucking small fraction as much. I just want to put this on the record is that I was not talking about Laura. You came in here today while I was talking about Molly Golightly, which I don't know why, Capone, because, you know, your queen hates her too. Now they're not friends. And see, the difference between me and Laura is that I don't put her name in the title because I don't want any, you know, clout off of her. I don't need that. You know, I don't hashtag her name and put her name in the title to try to gain something off of it. I'm just talking shit. That's it. But, you know, it's way more classy to fucking talk shit and try to gain something off of it. You're right. You know what I really think? I'm going to be quite honest with you. I think Capone knows deep down inside that I'm right, which is the reason that he keeps coming in here, because there's plenty of other people that don't like Laura, that talk about Laura all the time, right? That judge her and all this other shit. And Marissa too, right? And he's not in their comment sections. He's not in their, you know, he's not in their fucking lives and comment sections. I think I let him down for some reason, because I didn't want to, you know, be friends with somebody who was not being a good friend to me. And that's a problem for him, that I have boundaries, I guess. I don't know. But I think deep down he knows that it's right. He just doesn't know how to fucking get away from Laura. So he comes here and he fights and fights and fights and fights and fights her battles when she has a fucking big enough mouth of her own. He did make the chat about her. So don't go turning around and acting like I'm fucking some obsessed fucking weirdo when you're the person who came in here. I didn't, invite you. I mean, you have every right to watch my shit. I can't stop you from doing that, but I just don't go into places that I'm not wanted, clearly. You're never going to catch me in Laura's chat. I'm never going to go in there. I'll never be in her chat. I don't go into people's chats where I'm not wanted. I just don't do that. If somebody doesn't like me, I just avoid them. I stay away from them. I'm not going to come in their chats and start harassing them and shit. Will I leave comments? Yeah, sure. But I'm not going to go into their space and bother them. That's the difference. I'm not going to go into, and put myself in somebody else's space and start, bothering them. Will I put my opinions out there publicly? Yeah, sure. But I'm not in their space. I let people have their own space and their own say. I have to give him credit for his tenacity. Does Laura placate people like unknown Capone in her chats? I don't know, CK. No, I don't even think so. The thing is with Capone and Laura, this is the reality of their relationship, right? I don't know if they've ever actually had like a personal conversation with one another about life and things like that. Like, I don't think he talks to her on that level. So I don't think he really knows her. You know what I'm saying? I don't think she sits on the phone with him and tells him, oh, Capone, I can't pay my rent this month. I need people to step up their super chats. So like, he don't hear that kind of shit from her, and fucking their relationship consists of, swapping screenshots and stuff on YouTube. That's really what their relationship is. There's no real friendship there. You know, it's a YouTube relationship with just screenshots and information. And that's what their whole relationship consists of. So he thinks he knows her, but he really doesn't, because he's never spoken on the phone with her, you know, had a conversation with her and got to know the real her. Because the person that's on the YouTube, that's not really the real her, dude. It's not. I mean, it is, but it's also not. Because I'll be honest with you, Laura, real life Laura, she's not as angry as she is on YouTube. You know, I still can't figure out to this day if it's like a character she plays, you know, for entertainment value or what, but she's not like that. I was just telling somebody last night, we were talking about people who are just like always miserable, you know. Everybody knows somebody like that in their lives that's just like never happy no matter what, you know. And we were saying that, or people that like have, you know, problems, like we all have problems, but people that let their problems control them, you know, their lives. And I was saying how I had a friend on here I'm no longer friends with, who was kind of like that. You know, she was miserable all the time. And I just used to sit there and think to myself, like, dude, like, why are you so angry all the time? You know what I'm saying? Like, she would get me agitated. I start realizing like being just on the phone with this person is getting me agitated and putting me in a bad mood because she's always in a bad mood, you know? And like, why am I doing that to myself? Because on a day-to-day basis, I think I'm a pretty, you know, happy person. Of course, my moods change and shit because I'm, you know, a human being, but for the most part, I think that I'm usually like pretty like level headed, you know, and happy. Like, of course, you know, I get pissed off about things sometimes, but like I try not to carry those things with me. You know, if I get mad about something, I try to get mad about it, deal with my feelings, and then move on. You know, I don't like to let it ruin my day. I'm just not one of those people, you know? And I was saying Laura's like that too, you know, and I'll give her that type of credit that she's not one of those types of people that lets things ruin her entire day. It seems like it on here, but if you actually talk to her in real life, it's not like that. It's almost like she's almost too uncaring about things, but she's definitely no, Susha, Capone's a person. I've heard his voice before. He talks in Laura's voice chats. I've heard him before. Capone's a very quiet, soft-spoken guy. He's actually, you know, if you're friends with Laura, Capone's actually a really cool, kind of, you know, nice guy. It's just like once you know, fall out with her, he's like just fucking hates you. You know, it's like this totally fucking warranted hate. It's so bizarre, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, people like that are emotionally draining. Like, Susie, I would be on the phone with this person for like hours out of the day, and they'd always say it too. I'm so irritated. I'm so irritated. And I'm like, over like dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you know, the window is open, or like really like stupid shit. And I'm just like, "Oh my god, I can't imagine living my life like that." You know, and I started realizing like this person's mood like is affecting my mood, and I'm not like that normally, you know? I mean, yeah, I have days where I get like agitated, like I'm just, certain days out of the month, like all women have, you know, where like everything gets on your nerves. But like, you know, I try to like live my life not being like that. Like I try to like shake it off, you know, when I can. Because like I always just think to myself, it could be worse. No matter what I'm going through, it could be worse. It could be 10 times worse. I've done live after live being totally hateful and spiteful, but put it all on me. I'm not putting anything on you, Capone. How is I being spiteful and hateful? So when you criticize somebody, that means you're being hateful. When you criticize somebody's behavior, it's hate. No, Capone. No. Critical, maybe. Hateful, I don't know about that. But critical, maybe. You know what, Capone? Excuse me for not wanting to see people getting fooled by somebody. You know, that's just part of my character. I just don't like when people are fake. It bothers me. He is bored as fuck. Why do you care, Capone? That's the real question here. Why do you care what I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? You don't realize that you totally invalidate everything that you're saying because the same thing that you're saying I'm doing to Laura, you're doing to me. So it totally invalidates everything that you're saying because it's the same shit. The same shit you're complaining about, you're doing to me. You're just not going live, but you're in every comment section. You come in my chats all the time. I see you in her chat talking shit, which I, ignore. But I go live once a week. I haven't talked about Laura in like the last like 3 or 4 or 5 lives I've done, dude. Go back to them. We talked about the Long Island serial killer. We talked about this woman who lost her life, unfortunately, in Queens. We talked about fashion. We talked about all different things. We went through the Delia's catalog. I'm sure you were here for that one. Probably enjoying it, looking at the young girls. But, you're lying, dude. You're just blatantly lying about that. And what is Laura doing? Tell me what her lives consist of, Capone. Because she's just pleasant every time, right? She's like totally live. She's not being hateful at all, ever, right? She's just like the most pleasant fucking, there's rainbows, sunshine, unicorns, and butterflies shooting out of her asshole on her lives, right? Okay, dude. I have not been on a live where this gentleman is topic on MM. Sue, he comes in here. Okay, we were talking about something totally not related to Laura before. He made it about Laura. I think because he wants her to have a reason to go live, and like he's not into her true crime shit. Let's just be real. He's never in there when she's covering true crime cases. Like, he's just not. He likes the drama. So he's like, let me go stir up some shit to give her something to talk about later. Because I guarantee you she'll be live later and she'll be addressing something, Listen, I was friends with her and she like fucked me over and a bunch of people that I'm friends with she fucked over, right? Explain to me why she goes live about people like Natasha Cooper who have nothing to do with her, or the interview room or all these people that she's so hateful towards and calls narcissists that never fucking don't even know she exists. You know what I'm saying? She just like literally picks up people. Like, why is that okay? But like me talking about other people's not okay. I just don't fucking get this guy's logic, man. I really wish I understand it. I didn't even talk about Laura with my first comment. You made it about her because you wanted to. Okay. Capone, we all know that the reason you're in here though is for her, right? To be fair, I was going to address what she said about me. To be fair, I was today. But you come in here to stir the shit up, dude. I mean, we're not stupid. There's no reason for you to be in my life at all, Capone. Because like I said before, I don't go into Laura's lives, okay? None of these people that are sitting in my chat right now that dislike her go into her lives and disrupt her lives. I let Laura do her thing over there. Laura talks her shit. I mean, she did that live days ago. I was busy for fucking days because I actually do, hang out with my family and do things with them. So, I didn't have time to address it. But I'm home today. I'm fucking lazy because, I had a busy weekend, and I'm just being lazy today. So I decided to hop on here for one day. I probably won't be alive again for the rest of the week because I got shit to do. But, we know you're in here to try to get us, to stir the pot for her a little bit. You don't give me the same respect that I give to her, which is I don't come in her space and start fights with her. None of my, people do. None of my friends do. We don't do that to her. I mean, you'd be blocked immediately. I would never be even allowed to, even if I wanted to, in Laura's chat, because she's too much of a baby to handle any type of criticism. I mean, I at least give you a platform to even voice your opinion towards me, which I really shouldn't. I shouldn't afford you this opportunity, but I do, because I truly believe in hearing other people's opinions, even if they don't agree with mine. I'm not a tyrant. I don't need to have everybody in my chat agree with me and have a fucking echo chamber. You ever notice Laura goes through her chats? I agree. Exactly. Because that's what she wants. I let you sit in here and have a totally different opinion. Now, I don't have to agree with it, but I let you have the opinion. She don't even afford people that option. They can't even get 2 comments in. As soon as they disagree, you're a fucking idiot. The fuck out of my fucking chat. You're too fucking stupid to be in here. I don't do that, dude. You made community posts going at her lives when she wasn't talking about you. Yeah. And your point. So she's on YouTube, Capone. It's called social media. Social media. And unfortunately, that's one of the downsides to putting yourself out there. People are going to talk about you and discuss you. Did you ever notice this thing that's under every video? It's called a comment section, right? And under that, under the videos where the comment section is, you're allowed to have these little things called discussions, right? And that's what makes it social. That's the social aspect of social media, right? So if you're going to sit up here and post things about, your life, yourself, and all this other shit, then you should expect fully, because it comes with the territory, right? It's a job. Just like if you're a cop, you should expect that you're going to have to deal with drunk people and all sorts of assholes in this world, Well, if you're a YouTuber, you're going to have to deal with assholes too. That's just, kind of comes with the territory. So, like I'm dealing with you right now, she has to do the same thing and expect the same thing. She doesn't have to talk about people for people to give an opinion on her. If she was boring, nobody would give an opinion about her. She didn't share all the crazy fucking hectic details of her fucking life. Nobody would have an opinion about it. But it's like, dude, some of the shit she says is so fucking far out. Like, I'm sorry. People are going to have opinions about it. If you say something racist, yeah, people are going to have opinions about it. That's the social aspect to social media. That's why we're here, is to socialize with one another, right? So you're telling me that my social media, not hers or anybody else's, my social media has to be only what you want me to talk about? I can't talk about what I want to talk about. I have to talk about what, Capone? What can I talk about according to you? Tell me what I'm allowed to talk about on here, since you're the fucking social media police. No, CK Warhol, he's not smart enough to, fucking punctuate. So he just writes everything. He needs attention, clearly. Laura's probably not giving him enough attention. So he's like, how am I this is a cycle of Capone and Laura, right? He doesn't get attention from Laura unless he gives her screenshots or something. So he, nobody's talking about her, and nobody has been, to be quite honest, for a while. So the second that somebody talks about her, or he could generate that, make that happen and get somebody to talk about her, that gives him a reason to connect with her. He could take a screenshot and now he could connect with her and he could give her that screenshot and now she'll give him attention, because otherwise you think Laura's going to be like typing to him, hey Capone, how you doing? How's life today? What are you doing today? How's your mom? How's your dad? No, she don't give a fuck about him. She don't give a shit to find out how this guy's life is. You know what I'm saying? The only attention he gets from her is when he gives her information about other people, and sends her screenshots. So he's got to make that happen right now because nobody's talking about her. It's his social life is Laura. His social life is Laura and her Patreon, and that he doesn't even pay for himself. And, that's his social life. His entire existence and social life is that. So somebody like me who doesn't have this isn't my whole life, he's probably like, what the fuck is this girl doing when she's not here? Like, she has a life, she does things outside of YouTube. Get the fuck out of here. This dude wants to control my activity on here. I'll talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about. If you don't like it, Capone, it's just like Laura says, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't watch me. If you don't like that I'm talking about her, don't watch it. That's all. I don't watch people when they talk about me. Please don't justify your life. You know your real life. You are so much better than trolls. You know what it is, Serenity B? I want him at some point in time, and this is how I look at it, something I say to this man is going to open his mind up eventually, because I truly believe like he wouldn't keep coming back here if there wasn't some type of connection to something that I'm saying. he wouldn't keep coming back here and trying to engage with me. I mean, I do think a lot of it is just, like I said, he wants the attention from Laura. So he's, I think he's got a crush on her or something, because I don't know any man who spends this much time on any woman, to be quite honest with you, that doesn't have a crush or something. Oh, look, outing my private situation just to be spiteful, and you wonder why I have a problem with you. So I'm right? Capone, I just totally made that whole thing up. And you're really? So I'm right. Thank you. Okay. I didn't know that for a fact. I'm sitting here guessing, and I totally just fucking made that up. And you just totally outed yourself. Good job. Oh my God, dude. Dude, I was just totally talking out my ass. You just fucking gave yourself up. But thank you for, I mean, I wasn't talking out my ass, but I was kind of just speculating, to be quite honest with you. What did I out that was personal about you? That you want attention from Laura and you're in love with her? What was true exactly that I just said? I admire your living legacy as a man who goes into women's social media. So wait a second, you were in love with Laura? Is that what I outed? Aww, that's cute. Capone, I'm just telling you, dude, you could do better. I really think you can, honestly. Find a girl who has, well, first of all, one that's closer to your age, because I know you're young. And, you don't want a mother figure as a girlfriend. That shit never works out. But, Capone is to Laura what Princess is to MGL. I don't even know. You know what, Narnie? Like, I don't even know. I think he's just, their whole relationship is based on YouTube drama bullshit. That's what it's based on. Honestly. So, I mean, Capone, it's no secret that you're the person that gives Laura all the screenshots. It's pretty obvious. Like, I don't think I'm outing anything personal. That's pretty obvious. You're always around. You're always lurking somewhere, and then you make it known, and then Laura goes live about the things. Well, it's pretty obvious who's giving her the screenshots. I mean, hey, Judith, good morning. Unless he has millions, he won't make the cut. Yeah, right. That's true, Susie. She only wants to marry like a doctor or lawyer or somebody that has like tons of money, because apparently doctors and lawyers are the only people that have money. Not like business owners or anything. It's got to be a doctor or a lawyer, because they're the only people that make money. He is underpaid with attention. That's his payment. That's how she repays him, with attention. I guess I was right. I totally was just talking out my ass about that. I mean, some of it, some of it's true. In my opinion, that's what their relationship consists of. I personally don't think that they have conversations about, life, things like that. I don't think she ever cares to ask this man about his life or anything like that. I've told him several times, because I want him to truly see how much she actually cares about him. Like, I want him to see, I just know from being friends with Laura that the friendship is very one-sided. It's all about her, and like, what could you do for me? There's no two sides to that friendship. There just isn't. So I know that it has to be the same with him, if not even worse. Because I mean, I do feel like we had a friendship. I just feel like it was, very one-sided on her part. Laura just, she really doesn't. She doesn't really ask questions about you, like, where'd you grow up? It's like everything's about her, so I know that she's not reciprocating any type of relationship like that with him, because I just know she's not. Has she given him a candle at least? I don't know. It's a good question. Oh my God, Capone, are you seriously going after dolls? Come on, dude. You're in no place, Capone, honestly, to be, criticizing other people in the way that you are, dude. That's why you share no personal, information about yourself, because if you did, we would be able to throw it in your face. So you just, you don't share any of that stuff. Getting out and meeting people would be so much better for you. I agree. Serene. I have a feeling though, like in person, he's not. You know what I'm saying? People online are able to, like, especially when you're only typing, right? You're able to kind of adopt this like identity online, where you have this armor, right? That is the computer, the screen, and the fact that people are hundreds of miles away from you. There's this shield around you that you could fucking be whoever you want to be, especially a person like him, right? That we don't know too many personal details about his life, right? So he could put this facade on and have this, barrier around him to protect him from reality. In real life, though, he doesn't have that. So, he's not going to walk up to people and say rude things to them and call them out like he does. He's not going to do that because this is his facade. He could be whoever he wants to be in the comment section, in a chat. Come up on the panel, Capone. I'll drop a link for you and talk. Good night, Serenity B. Come up here and talk like a man, Capone. I'd be more than happy to drop a link for you, and we could have like a grown up to grown up conversation here. So only creators like you could do that? I don't know what you mean by that. Could do what, Capone? You're like 10 minutes late, and I don't, when you comment and you're so vague, I don't know who you're referring, like what exactly I said that you're referring to. Do what? Notice he stopped typing in all caps. People project a brave persona on YouTube, but in reality, may be extremely insecure. I mean, I hear people saying it all the time, even big creators, that they're like, I'm way more outgoing on YouTube than I am in my real life. That it's just a common thing. I mean, for me, I would say I'm the same person. I mean, I'm pretty outspoken in life as I am. I've calmed down a little bit over the last couple of years, definitely. I try to like not be as outspoken, in certain situations, only when necessary. I've definitely learned how to tame myself down a little bit, because I think I went through a little phase where I was a little too outspoken in my life, and so now I try to be a little bit more careful about that. But I mean, you guys all know, people know who I am on here, my information's out there, whatever. It is what it is. But I would say I'm pretty much the same. You tell us don't go on clip channels, which you don't tolerate clipping you, by the way, to talk shit about you. What? Dude, what? About you, and come here and do it, so I just followed your advice. I never said, what the fuck are you even talking about, dude? Capone, go find where I said any of that. Any of that. I never said, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? First of all, Capone, I could tell you whatever the fuck I want to tell you. You don't have to listen to me, first of all, okay? I could sit here all day and give you advice about everything in the world, but you don't have to listen to me. You're a grown-ass man, or at least you should be, right? So whatever I tell you, like, you don't have to follow it. You know that, right? I know Laura has you brainwashed thinking that you have to follow everything she says, but not with me, dude. I'm just giving you some friendly advice. Whether you follow it or not, that's really up to you. But I never told anybody. First of all, I don't care if you clip me. I've never fucking cared. I just don't want Wendy V clipping me, because Wendy V can fuck off. That's all. She's the only person I really care if she clips me. Anybody else, I really don't care, dude. Where have you ever seen me fucking ever saying that I don't want people clipping me? I have said before, there's no real reason to clip me, because I pretty much leave my lives up all the time. But people are going to do it anyway. So whatever. It is what it is. I really don't care. People clip me, I mean, I don't get clipped all that much, but because I'm not on here all that much. But, when they do, whatever. It is what it is. But you have every right to go there and talk and shit on me. I don't care. What I said is, please don't talk about my husband and my son, because they're not here and they're not bothering you. You have every right to talk about me, though, dude. I don't give a fuck what you say about me. I don't. And I leave my chat open for you to come here as well. You know, I don't close my chat. You could come here anytime and talk shit to me, Capone. I don't care. I don't. As long as you're not threatening anybody, you know, I have a problem with that if you're threatening people. And I'm definitely going to have an issue with that. And you're not being racist or, revealing people's personal information, which you have a tendency to do sometimes, not like their names and shit, but, personal things about them, then yeah, I have a problem with that. But if you're coming here to talk shit to me, you could talk shit to me all day, as evidenced by today, right? Been on here for like 2 hours, 3 hours, and you've been talking shit and consuming my entire life this whole time. And I've allowed you to, because I'm not gonna just say, oh yeah, you're a fucking idiot, get the fuck out of here, because that's just not who I am, dude. I don't mind an argument. I don't mind a fucking conversation like this. Because you know what, Capone, it might not open up your mind, but it might open up this dialogue that we're having here. It might open up somebody else's mind who's the same as you. So that's why I allow it. But you're just plumb making shit up right now. That's true, CK. CK, that's so true. We still get something out of it. I like Laura, oh my own damn home. I have a small home, but it's mine, and I have land, and I have more than Laura will ever have. That is true, dolls. I like your little trailer. It's so cute. And I like your house, but I'm saying I like the little trailer that you have that you paint in and do your little, artwork. I've been doing my own artwork. Lately. I've been making cement. I showed you guys the pot that I made, but I ordered a bunch of other molds now, like candle holders and shit like that. So still trying to get it down, just like anything else. It's an art form, you gotta get the mixture right and all that. But I have a video that I've been wanting to make for 2 years now. I bought all the shit, right, to make a fountain for my backyard, and I still haven't done it. So hopefully I'll get to that this year. Hopefully. I was trying to think, and I was like, last year, my husband and I like totally neglected our yard and everything. And I'm like, what the fuck happened last year? Like, what were we doing? I know a lot of it had to do with my son's hockey, because this time of year we're heavy traveling. Like, I mean, we travel all year, but like this time of year, because of the roller hockey, it's a travel team. That's all they do is travel. So, when they play games, we go to all these different tournaments, right? And so, what the hell's going on here? My computer's making some noise. But anyway, we do a lot of traveling. So I thought, maybe it was that. And then I realized, my husband had knee surgery last May. He had he had torn what the hell was it? His ACL or something like that. He tore something in his knee. Or no, I'm sorry, it was his meniscus. His meniscus. And that's why we didn't get anything done in my yard last year. Because he's pretty much spent, the whole month of May recovering, and June. And then, by the time July came, it was just like everything was just like out of control by that point. And then we were also traveling with hockey and everything. So I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot he had that knee surgery last year. And that really fucked us up. So I'm like trying to think, why didn't I have time last year for anything? That's why. These are for guests, take it a steer back. I put 10K in it, but I am 6, so it'll take more time. Well, take your time, girl. It ain't going nowhere. Best believe if any of us went into Laura's chat, he would be the first to hit the block button. You know what else I find really funny about Laura too, okay? All these people that don't like her typically, express their condolences towards her. Did she thank any of those people? Does she have any appreciation? Like, damn, these people don't even like me, but they at least express their condolences towards me? No, none. Zero. I mean, I don't know. She's just don't appreciate nothing. Nada. She needs somebody to he's in here just trying to fucking pick a fight. My camper up and start getting ready to paint again. Good. It's good to do, other things like that. Get your mind off of, shit. It really is. He just totally disappeared. How come he won't take a link up here? Come on, Capone. Yeah, she absolutely did, but chose not to say their name because of all the hate it might cause them. Okay, Capone. Just wanted to warn you guys, if Halen gel shots in the knee. Sorry. I just had them and couldn't walk for 3 days. Now my knees are immobile. Oh no. Oh no. What is that? I never even heard of that. Highland gel shots. I've never heard of that. Girl, I'm definitely going to need some knee surgery in the future. My knees are shot from all the running and gymnastics and shit. She absolutely did. Okay, Capone. I bet personally gonna offer her any condolences just due to the fucking things that she says, but her son, yeah. I mean, that's terrible. Absolutely terrible. She never says anybody's names, Capone, no matter what she's talking about. She loves to leave it vague so that she could mush everybody together. You know, 1 second she'll be talking about like, you know, Alicia, something she said, and then she'll mush somebody else in there and just she does that on purpose to leave it vague so that people think that, you know, you did things that you never did. She totally does that shit on purpose. Yeah, I hope you feel better, Judith. Does it maybe take a little bit of time to like work? Oh, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Why is there a fucking Easter egg in this thing? My son must have put it there. Anyhow, all right. I have to get on with my day. It was lovely talking to, you know, Capone for fucking 3 hours, but I got things to do, Capone. And everybody else. But I'm sure I'll be back sometime in the near future. Let me just end this. Capone, if you ever have a real problem and you ever want to talk like a grown ass adult to me, my email's in my about section. Okay. I hope you aid. Yeah, right. CK, hopefully she'll get, you know, he'll get some type of compensation when she sues the police department. I mean, hey, Capone, I already told you. No, it's all right, Soldier. I leave it open, Soldier, honestly, for him to do this because if you leave the dialogue open, right, he can't come in here and be like, oh, well, she blocks me and I can't get a word in. No, dude, I let you consume most of my life today. Okay. And I hope that, you know, the conversation opens up other people's minds because we know that it's not going to, you know, open his mind up, but it might open up somebody else's mind from hearing some of the ridiculous shit that he says, you know, to people. It might open up somebody else's mind. So I just think it's boring to have people just come in here and, you know, agree with every single thing that you say. Cause like, honestly, when people argue and, you know, have a discussion like that, it just, to me, it says a lot more than when, you know, it's just a one-sided argument. That's what I said. I don't mind if he comes in here. He could say whatever he wants to me. Just, you know, I just ask that, you know, he doesn't attack other people and dox them and shit like that, which he didn't do today. You know, he was all right. You know, I don't care. Like, I could handle it. I don't care what he says to me personally. It doesn't bother me. But you know, I don't want him attacking other people. That's all. But he was all right today. He's fine to come in here anytime. You know, sometimes we gotta put him in the corner, but most of the time, you know, I have no problem with him coming in here and talking to me. It's 100% fine. I'm an adult. I could actually have opposing views with people and conversations because to me it makes a more interesting conversation than just sitting on your chat and going, I agree. Exactly. That's right. That's exactly what I was thinking. No, that's boring. Who wants to listen to that? But all right. Anyway, let me get on with my day. I hope everybody has a good day, and I definitely will be seeing you guys around the hood. The hood. How much he misses us. That's what I think too, Soldier. I think that too. Oh Lord. All right, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.